Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John, that's my cohort and commentary, Ashton, and this is TWitWoW in review. And I gotta tell you, folks, this week in the world of wrestling, I mean, to me, once again, the most interesting thing is just the continuation of the Bloodline storyline. We know that Roman and Solo Sikoa at Night of Champions will be going after Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. We also know that AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins for the inaugural World Heavyweight Championship, to crown the first champion, will also be happening at Night of Champions, as will Bianca versus Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship. We've had some news coming out of this week, mainly that Liv and Raquel will have to vacate the women's tag team titles. Liv suffering an injury. Damage Control, I'm sure, is looking to get in on that and reclaim those titles. Up to see how that goes for them. And a bunch of other stuff, too. And AEW happened, which I was kind of had my finger on the pulse, but not too much this week. So I'll just ask my partner here. Ashton, how do you feel about this week in the world?
Bro, injuries are so upsetting. I really, really hate it when people get injured in wrestling. And in this instance, it's doubly upsetting because the person who caused the injury is also somebody that I really love in Dakota Kai. And
Yes.
also, apparently, she's also injured somehow. So I'm not entirely sure how both she and Liv managed to get injured in that match, but really unfortunate circumstances. Bailey and Io are going to be the team that's going to be challenging for the tag titles in the four-way match. Before we really do any other talking, I'm very curious who you think Raquel's partner is going to end up being.
God, dude, knowing WWE, I could see it being Charlotte. Just
Oh,
something random.
what are the chances
You
she
know,
brings back Aaliyah? Is what I was thinking. But God, I hate your idea so much.
I hate it too, man. It's one of the ugliest things to ever emanate from this face. Um, yeah, I mean, Aaliyah could also be a possibility.
Well, because
I
weren't
don't know.
Aaliyah and Raquel like former tag champs already as well?
Yes,
I thought so.
yes. Yeah, it'd be so easy to be bummed out about this week in the world of wrestling if Foster didn't say that I was pretty today, which I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be subsisting on that for the rest of the year. DBK also followed that up calling me handsome. So I feel really nice. I was actually going to be a lot angrier today coming on here just because so much of wrestling leaves me so meh, and Stardom and a few storylines in WWE, but I'm feeling pretty good, and I hope that Liv and Dakota both get well soon, especially with Money in the Bank right around the corner. You don't want two women like that who could both very easily be in the women's ladder match to be missing out on that payday and that experience in the UK. Um,
Oh,
oh,
that's
and apparently,
right. I forgot. Money in the Bank's in the UK this year. Fuck.
yeah, apparently Mark does know who the partner's going to be. He's just wanting us to give him authorization if he can share it. I personally don't think it's that big a deal, so I'd be cool to hear it, but I'll leave the final judgment with you.
Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, who is it, Mark? So I guess we can just talk about that this episode rather than leaving it to be speculative.
Oh, Javaris is here, and of course, because this is all he can think about right now, he wants to talk about Mortal Kombat again. Oh, it's
Oh,
Shotzi.
Shotzi.
Okay, yeah. I don't hate that.
That's fine enough for her. I wish Shotzi would get more to do, especially with her being internally listed as one of the top baby faces. But yeah, I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so fuck, man. What?
He did. I mean, shit. Javaris is practically providing us segues. He's doing our job for us. He's providing our segues for us. He said, "So John is pretty, or not Javaris Foster, Alex Foster." He said, "So John is pretty, but is he deadly?" And Pretty Deadly had a pretty great match last night on SmackDown. Pretty great moment where they actually managed to beat. I believe it was what was it, Ridge Holland and Butch.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. Brother, I will say rather succinctly, I think Pretty Deadly is what tag team wrestling just in general has been needing for a long time. Because not only can they work, they're great personalities and they're
Yeah.
fun promos. And like that's the thing. With FTR thinking back, I don't think they're the worst promos, although I think they're worse than AEW promo wise. I remember liking
They're
the WWE
definitely a
promos.
fuck ton of a lot more indulgent. Then again, it's AEW who isn't.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Um, but with Pretty Deadly, like I like the charisma, I like the gimmick. I even said in our Discord, during game night on Friday, and I think I said it specifically to Curtis because him and I were in a conversation about it. I could see that team and their shtick doing so well despite being heels that they get over as faces. Like I think there's a lot of value in this team. Now it's way too early for me to say if I feel like there's a single star between the two of them, because I actually do think both of them have a great look. I mean, they should. They're called Pretty Deadly. But yeah, I'm really happy they're on SmackDown, and I'm really happy that they're seemingly going to get pushed. I also agree with the in our Discord chat when we had that big discussion that I would not mind if Pretty Deadly were the ones to beat Sammy and Kevin, because that just sounds like such a fun feud waiting to happen, and it would subvert expectations. Because I think everybody, including a little bit myself, are just expecting the titles to go on Roman and Solo.
Yeah.
So yeah, great for Pretty Deadly, man. I'm really happy for those guys.
Yeah. I think when we first watched them at an OTT show that Curtis requested that we live react to, I think we immediately were just kind of drawn to them, and we were immediately like, oh, this is cool. I like this. We both kind of immediately got it, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And liked it immediately, and we were kind of keeping a finger on the pulse of what they were doing all the way through, NXT UK and NXT, and we're just kind of fans of them. Like I wouldn't say that I'm like a huge fan. Like I don't know if they'll ever make my fave 5 or anything, but I just like their work. They're just good at what they do. And like it's funny because Curtis even said something in chat Friday night that really resonated with me. They're like if Breezango worked like FTR.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, the biggest compliment I can give them, if I'm just being truthful with our audience, is they make me regret not caring even a little bit more about NXT UK and NXT at the time when they were doing stuff, because I feel like I missed a lot of great, Pretty Deadly matches. And, now with them on the main roster, I'm going to try and be a bit better about it. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I like these guys. Definitely rooting for these guys. And that's all I got to say about that. So, I don't know, man. Is there because for me, obviously, like the one segment I did watch and took a lot of interest in was Roman and Solo confronting Sammy and Kevin, but I don't want to put the cart before the horse. If there are other things you might want to talk about or you feel should be talked about. So is there anything on your mind?
Do you want to talk about the big fucking controversy that really isn't actually a controversy about MJF smacking the mic out of Renee's hand that wasn't actually planned?
Oh, yeah. Really not much to say, right? Like, it's just one of those things that I think the internet's going to make a mountain of when it's really a molehill, and I don't know. I just think it's him just trying to get cheap heat any way he can. I really don't know what to say beyond that. Do you?
You know what though? Speaking of controversies, do you want to talk about a real controversy that actually got dug up this week that is from 2005 that you might not even know about?
Oh, absolutely. Let's talk about this. What's going on?
Does any of what I just said ring a bell at all?
No.
Oh, this is a juicy one.
Okay.
CM Punk and Colt Cabana.
Oh, boy. Let me just ask. Actually, no. Keep going. Just keep going.
They did a shoot interview back in 2005.
Okay.
Where they were very candid about their opinion on women's wrestling and women's wrestlers. A direct quote, I believe from Cabana. Actually, I don't even remember which one of them said this. But one of them specifically said most women in the wrestling business are rats. They both described intentionally injuring an aspiring female talent when she wanted to train so that they could, quote unquote, keep her in check. They basically bragged about never spending any money on gas because she drove them everywhere in her vehicle and they took advantage of her that way. It was really enlightening into their characters. They're both pretty much pieces of shit. So I guess, birds of a feather, as they say.
Okay. You'll have to forgive me that this is a lot to unpack because I did not know about any of this. First of all, what is it about a podcast that just makes people really relax into it and reveal their shittiest selves?
Yeah.
Because it was Jericho's podcast that made Darby Allin be like, oh yeah, I bully homeless people. I had a homeless guy drink his vomit for like $1. Like, what the fuck? Second of all, because that obviously was a rhetorical question to start, but second of all, and I'm speaking about Punk here, because Colt Cabana, it's whatever. I mean, fuck him. It's really shitty. But, like, he doesn't have, like, the presence or whatever that Punk does, because Punk's always trying to keep attention on himself. You want to fucking moralize about the business and how you're an adult in a room full of children, and believe me, I got really not a lot of love for like Omega or the Bucks, and that's a separate matter. But you want to act like you're such an adult, you're such a veteran, you're so wise and so good for the business, and then you do that shit. Like you intentionally injured somebody to keep him in check. Like Jesus Christ, wrestling culture is the most toxic fucking thing, bro. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
God damn. And like I'm really getting tired too, just on my end, because I know I've said this a lot and I'll take responsibility for it. For being like, oh, I just want people to grow and change it. And I do, for sure. I want anybody to grow and change into their best selves. But like, shouldn't you already know not to do that? Like, I feel like not injuring somebody intentionally, to even call it the bare minimum implies that it's something to be thought of. It's just something you should instinctively not do.
Yeah.
And you did it. So like, I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of over trying to have the bandwidth to be like, well, maybe this will be an opportunity for them to grow. No, you should have been grown. You should have been grown enough to not do that.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. Jesus fuck, man. See, now I'm getting pissed. I don't know if you want to add anything to this, because you're always more grounded and sensible.
Oh no, I'm enjoying hearing your position, honestly.
Well, no, because it's so fucking hypocritical. Because like, even if Punk would say like, oh, I've changed, my wife, because him and AJ Lee, the whole thing made me a better person. It's like, dude, again, I really have to be fixated on this point. I'm sorry to everybody, because I never like being repetitive on here. But like, you intentionally injured somebody to quote keep them. So what? You had to big league them. I'm so fucking tired.
No, dude, that comes back to the pro wrestling sort of ideology of like, you want to scare them out of the business so that if they're not quote unquote built for the business, you're weeding people out. That's like an old school mentality. And of course, Punk like idolizes the old school. Like, what does he always say? What would Harley Race do? Fuck Harley Race. Harley Race is a piece of shit too. But like, that's kind of the general idea, is like, you want to like weed out people who aren't cut out for the business. And that's probably what they were trying to do there.
And who is that? Because like, oh my God, there would have been men from that same old school that would have looked at Punk and would have been like, this skinny toothpick looking fuck.
Yep.
The hell does he have doing in the ring? So
I mean, dude,
don't act
literally, Kevin Nash is one of them.
Yeah. Like, don't act like you're, this representative. I'm so fucking mad. I'm struggling to find words. This representative of the old school mentality, when there are same people from that era that would have been like, who's this tatted up emo looking motherfucker? Like, wouldn't have given him the time of fucking day. Who are you to fucking arbitrate who can and cannot make it in this goddamn business? And then you want to tell other people to go touch grass. Jesus, my dude.
Well, dude, and that comes back to the other thing that went down this week with Punk, was the whole thing with fucking Brian Alvarez from the Wrestling Observer.
And look, let me be clear, because conversations like this do have their nuance in the sense of you're not really allying with anybody, because you and I have also said wrestling journalism's in the goddamn toilet.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have legit journalism save for maybe one or two accounts at best. And even then, sometimes they could get roped into stuff that it's like, ooh, God, the whole thing is toxic, throw it away.
Yeah.
But like, for Punk to try and take the high ground, to try and assume the pedestal on anyone or any issue, is fucking laughable.
Yes.
To me. Like, it's fucking laughable to me. I even wonder if it was like a worked fucking shoot with this whole, I'm straight edge and I'm better than you. Because I really do think this dude walks around thinking he's better than everybody else. And the worst thing about those kinds of people, beyond the usual stuff, like, oh, they're a jerk, this and that, like, on a deeper psychological level, the problem with people like that is they can never assume responsibility for shit. Because if you assume that you're better than everybody, right, then naturally anything that happens, even when it's your fault, you can always see it as somebody else's fault. Oh, it wasn't my fault, it was so-and-so. God. And then, again, Cole Cabana kind of sharing in that, feeding into that. Fuck you too, dude. And then, hey, great friendship that worked out for you both, right? Wasn't like it was a public fucking disgrace that even made its way into fucking court. But no, keep judging all of us and how we're what's wrong with the business. These, to quote him on Alvarez, these parasocial relationships, which again, I will agree, are a problem, but how's that pulpit you're speaking from? I hate him. And I honestly, any respect I had for Tony Khan for saying no and walking away from the money that Punk objectively brought them, because he is a draw, and we can't argue with the reality of it, was gone the moment he's like, not only are we bringing you back, we're going to give you your own show.
Yeah.
Because that's going to feed your ego while simultaneously keeping you away from the elite. Like,
while simultaneously feeding my pockets.
like, fuck. This is why, man. I gotta be honest. If it wasn't for us finding stardom, and if it wasn't for the community we've built, because I probably would have been out of wrestling. Like,
Oh
however
my
many
god,
years
dude!
ago.
If we hadn't
Just
found
like,
stardom, I think Brawl Out would have been my final straw. That would have been the straw that broke my camel's back.
Yeah, because like, fuck this business.
Or
like,
it
again,
would have been either that or Keith Lee getting released from WWE. It would have been one of those things. Or Swerve, one of those big like fuck you moments to one of the big companies would have been it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it sucks for everyone because at a time when we're really seeing, I mean, you know about the whole writer strike going on and everything else. I still want a pro wrestling union, but at the same time, like, I got to be truthful. Like, obviously, I want the union. But, like, it scares me because look at the people that would definitely assume a leadership position for that union. And they're fucking awful. So it's like, because I've heard about this at jobs, right? Sometimes jobs will have the misfortune of having, like, a middle manager in the union. So then when they go and they negotiate, right, you're never going to look at, like, the quote-unquote lower-level worker. It's always going to be lining their pockets. It would pretty much be the same thing with a fresh coat of paint on it. So I can't even wish for you when you've got fucking scumbags like this that are definitely like one of the top guys in AEW with Punk, coming in and doing his thing. And like, I'm sure he has friends. I question their character after all this, but even the people that you claim to still be cool with, like fucking Kofi. From Kofi's perspective, Punk hadn't talked to him in a long time, and he was hurt by it. So, maybe stop being such a fake-ass fucking piece of shit. All right? I just, fuck this dude, man. I can't believe you shared that with me. I can't believe that actually happened. Because I just thought, okay, he's a bit moralizing and he's a bit of a prick. But to use somebody's, it's going to drive us around everywhere, we're going to take advantage. But you're the veteran, right? Fuck.
Well, this was back in 2005. Again, I got to emphasize, this is 18 years old now.
Yeah, true. But even so, like, come on, man. Like, know better.
Right.
Know better. Yeah.
You'd certainly hope.
Yeah.
You'd certainly hope.
Anyway, let's get on a more meaty topic. Just in this week in the world of wrestling. What fucking else is there? Because I know inevitably we're gonna talk about AEW, and I hate it, and life sucks. But like, is there anything before that?
Do we want to talk about the Bloodline since you kind of brought that up?
I mean, yeah. Honestly, that's perfect because I can rinse my mouth out with it. Look, I gotta say, I'm gonna try and be succinct because I would love your thoughts on this, even though I do have a lot of thoughts to share. But just to start, I love KO. I always will. But I'm not gonna have any pretense about it. I look at Roman and Sammy and how they interact, and dude, I just keep thinking, and I know it's not going to happen. I mean, maybe it will, but I put it at like less than 2% because I'm still dialed in on like the Cody rematch or whatever the fuck. But when I think about WrestleMania 40 being in fucking Philly, and Sammy is the closest thing to a Balboa that they freaking got, and they're chanting his name, and he's still getting the pops and everything else. And, like, here's the thing, too, because we know eventually Kevin and Sammy are going to feud again because they're destined to do this forever. This would be the one time that it makes fucking sense to me. Because when you look at these two as a team, and I've even seen, like, the segments where they're talking about the bloodline and stuff, and Kevin is, like, really irritated with Sammy. Like, not enough to be in conflict, right? He's just more confounded, like, why do you care about Jay? Why do you care about Jay? Like, why do you care about them? They had their chance. I like them too until they decided to align with Roman. So Kevin's like, listen, you're an enemy now, definitively. There's no gray with me. You chose that side. I beat you up now until it's over. Yeah. And Sammy's like, well, no, Kevin, because, I mean, it's an abusive relationship and they may feel obligated. And so, like, Sammy essentially is bringing nuance to it. We see how that's gotten them in trouble because he'll go talk to Jay and then Kevin will get jumped, or this thing will happen and Sammy will get suckered into an attack. So between all of that and then Sammy getting the cheers, like KO gets cheers too, but nowhere near the volume that Sammy does.
Right.
That when this relationship inevitably sours, I can't even roll my eyes this time because I'm like, you know what? You have the basis here, truly. And on Roman's side, this like to think that this is the same dude that tripped up against John Cena a few years ago
Yeah.
is insane to me. Like this dude, you know what's so funny? I think about heels today, and I know, and it's not me trying to punch down on AEW, though I'm never going to apologize for doing that for the record. But, I know that a big heel a lot of people love talking about is, of course, MJF. And the difference between Roman and it's night and fucking day because MJF can come out with the scarves and brag about the wealth and how we're all poor. You know that Roman's superior with a simple smirk. Like this dude, like talk about being self-assured in your identity. Because like Max always seems like, and that is kind of like his subterranean story, right? Like the story underneath, if AEW would ever bother to seriously tell it, because they've teased it a few times, is I don't know if I can really keep my place as a pro wrestler. And I tried to do things one way, and when it backfired, it made me really insecure. So I just doubled down on this way. And that's an interesting story. Again, if they'd commit and be sincere about it, which they haven't been up until now. With Roman, there's no insecurity here. I run this shit. That it's me and it's everyone behind me. He practically told the Usos that backstage, like after this. It's like, who's the quarterback? It's me. It's me. And like when he is insecure, he doesn't go on a big diatribe about it. Like I remember in his first feud with Kevin Owens that I loved. It was my feud of the year. When Kevin called him like a high school production mafia boss, Roman's eyes go down to the floor on his side of the screen because it was like one of those split screen promos. When he bumps into Solo during this exchange, when he's like yelling at the Usos, he puts his hand like, sorry, man, I'm sorry. So like he's kind of ceding ground to Solo,
Yeah.
which is fascinating. But like it's never contrived with him, man. It's just completely on another level. I almost wish we would have talked about this last because I know we're still gonna have to talk about AEW after this, and I'm like, AEW to me doesn't have anything on the level of even just this one segment because you have Roman that's got all these layers as a heel that probably genuinely believes he's in the right with how he does things. Because if he doesn't, I know people like this. Roman, I think, is the mentality of if I don't micromanage everything, it all falls apart. He sees literally everybody around him except himself as fundamentally incapable, which is probably why Solo is a bigger part of the story than we realize, because I think Solo is the first person in his view that he's like, okay, that's a dude carrying his weight. That's a dude carrying his weight so much that I feel the need to apologize to him if I have a miscue. And Sammy, again, just the quintessential fucking babyface. I loved not only his promo on Monday where he got all fired up and said, you're not taking them. Like Sammy in one promo made those tag titles feel more worthwhile than just about any champion in like the last decade, maybe 2 decades. It's insane. Like it was almost as if Sammy was talking about Roman taking their lives, much less the tag titles. And then on Friday here in this segment that we're talking about, when he says, and do you know why? Because you're not as good as us. And you're not as good as the Usos either. Like, I love that Sammy can be a babyface and still be that manipulator that he's always bragged about being.
Yeah.
Like, he knows exactly. Like, dude, this was an S tier promo class, honestly, from everybody. Because even Kevin, it makes sense for his character right now because he's so tired of talking about the bloodline and everything else. He's even said as much. Like, he just wants to fight everybody. Now, some people could look at it and say, well, isn't that kind of a Flanderization in a way of Kevin Owens? Because we're literally taking Fight Owens fight and just making that the dominant character trait. But here, when you have all the context, I see it more as a man that's just at the end of his rope with a struggle that's seemingly been going on forever. And he just wants to end it. And I think in that context, even he works in this. So I've really said all that I could say without being redundant. What did you think about this? What were your takeaways from this segment?
Really, I really only the big takeaway from me was like the whole moment with Roman and Solo, where Roman bumped into Solo and Solo just kind of stared at his own shoulder for the entire remainder of the segment.
Yeah.
That was like the big talking point I had. I didn't even have anything to say about anything else, so you already way more analyzed this segment than I was prepared to, so good on you, bud.
I always want to make sure that you eat too, so I apologize if I'm a little too hard in the paint there, but I love
Impossible.
This. I appreciate it. I know, I love this, man. This is the pro wrestling that I love. This is the pro wrestling that is the escapism for me, that doesn't make me think about how fucking toxic and shitty other people that like to proclaim themselves as, the greatest or whatever the fuck actually are. Roman is just, and like what's amazing to me too, because again, like I just have to say this, not to get too inside baseball here, but the dude publicly announced his leukemia and like had to go for chemo. Like you'd think after an event like that, you would just be forever over, but people want to see him get beat.
Yeah.
And he's good while doing it. Because to me, like, has the title reign had its valleys, its peaks and valleys? Sure, it has. But he, I think, has been so consistently good even through the low ebbs of the title reign that it's like, okay. And the only thing I'm concerned about, though, and I say this every time we really talk about this in depth, whoever beats him, you got to make him hella believable. And I hope for my sake, selfishly, that it's somebody that I like. Because they are getting the payoff of a life. Like, I don't know if you would consider this hyperbole, bro, but I feel like Roman's at the point with this title reign where whoever beats him, it's a rub on par with, if not even a tad exceeding ending the streak, before Brock ended it.
I can definitely see where you say that. Yeah, I think I even agree with you, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think it's just because I mean, come on, man. At Night of Champions, he's ringing in 1,000 days.
Yep.
Like ending a title reign like that is insane.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm still hoping it's Sammy, because I'm seeing these two. And Roman even says backstage, I had something I wanted to say to him. So more than Kevin. And I loved how Roman in their feud, like, what was it, 2 years ago, I feel like at this point. I love how he sold the fear and the threat of Kevin Owens.
Oh, at the beginning of 2021. Yeah, that was 2 years ago.
Okay, good. I'm glad I wasn't so off base.
Because they feuded again at the beginning of this year, too.
Yeah. They did. So I'm referring specifically to our audience just so they understand. I'm referring to the first feud that Kevin and Roman had.
Right.
I love that he sold the fear and just the threat of Kevin Owens. But with Sammy, it's so different because Roman even said, or he started to say, like, I regret the time of my career that I spent on you. And don't get me wrong, because I know Foster and I have talked about it. I've talked about it with others. I love you guys. And by the way, everybody that lifted me up today, you're all a bunch of fucking kings. All right. We fucking positive masculinity in this goddamn house. But this is why I never really want to give up on Sammy being the one to end it. Because I'm seeing those two in the ring. And it works. And you know what, Foster? I get it. I truly get it because Jay is also a fascinating character. So to me, I'll put it like this. It's got to be either Jay or Sammy. Because if you try and sell me that Cody shit again, like, no, he hasn't earned this. First of all, he hasn't been traumatized by Roman the way that Jay has. Just immediately. Like, that alone makes Jay worthy of that redemptive moment to me. And then second of all, Sammy, I think, had his own kind of trauma because he really did want a family. He did want to be respected after the whole conspiracy theorist losing to fucking Johnny Knoxville and, Jackass and all that stuff. And Roman gave it to him, but like Sammy said in a promo, like shortly after he broke up with them, I had to prove myself week after week after week. So Sammy in his own way, not to the extent of Jay, I'm not getting that twisted for a second, but in his own way, was abused by Roman. So, like, for me, and this is my Lucha Underground brain, if somebody is an abuser, like in kayfabe, because God knows we were just talking enough about real life pieces of shit, Roman seems like a sweetheart, nothing but respect. But as a character, he's manipulative, he's abusive, he's controlling. We all know this. Who better to take those titles from him than two people that know that so intimately? For Cody, it's just about, I gotta finish the story. My dad! I don't care about you, and I barely care about your dad. No disrespect to him, but like, and that's why I said barely, which is still more than you. But yeah, to me, it's got to be either Sammy or Jay.
Yeah.
I really, and I've gotten to that point now, and let me be crystal clear. I said either Sammy or Jay, so I've gotten to the point now where I don't even really want to see Kevin win the title, and I was all about that for a little bit. I was all, yeah, Kevin, keep fighting. Maybe if it was still the Kevin in the first feud, that like Roman went after his family and really made it personal, but nah, now it's gotten to a place where I look at him and Sammy in the ring together and I'm like, I love you, Kevin, forever, but this is not your moment right now. Like, God damn. I only talk this much because I know they're not going to do it, and it pisses me off, and I'm like, fuck. But yeah, that's yeah.
I almost feel like the end game for the Sammy story is winning tag titles with Jey Uso.
Yeah, Yeah, dude, I'd be cool with that too. Like, if I can't get one of those two men winning that fucking title, at least win the tag titles together, because I'd pop for that, admittedly. But we'll have to see. Uh, Foster, I fucking love you, dude. He's like, Cody cut a promo about a frog and a scorpion. Nah, I'm good. Oh, is that the one that I've told a few times? Did he tell the fucking fable?
Did he really? I literally mute my TV anytime Cody's on it, so I don't hear what he says.
Did he tell the fucking fable about the scorpion and the frog? First of all, I've told that fable on here probably at least twice.
At least.
And I guarantee you Cody didn't do it with my
I
personality.
was gonna say, you did it better too, I bet.
Yeah. Like, what? What are you doing, Cody? How is
dork?
How he do? Turbo confirmed he did. What a fucking pleb ass.
Christ.
God damn it. Like, cause wait, see, I'm turned up now because I had a good day today. So you all are gonna just get me going on everybody. Who the fuck are you, the frog to Lesnar's scorpion in this situation? Because you didn't help him cross anything. If anything, he was going to allegedly help you cross something. You know, the threshold of getting back in contention for Roman's title until he fucking beat the shit out of you. Why did you sting me?
Cross the threshold of sucking less.
Dude, Brock looked at it and he's like, you know, I may be the next big thing.
But I'm not a miracle worker.
But I'm not a miracle worker, and I'm looking at him, and that's the next big yikes for me, Chief. Kirby, I love that this is Kirby's go-to word. This Cody slander is a bit spiteful. Kirby, what isn't spiteful to you? I respect regular-sized Micah. Enjoy your portions. In the words of Christian, eat my crumbs.
I was gonna say, enjoy your morsels.
Yeah, God, what is Foster doubling down? This Cody slander is a bit truthful.
I love it, Alex. Love it.
Foster, you're perfect. I love you until the end of time. You hear me? The end of fucking time itself. Bro, this frog and the scorpion, that's the only story he's finishing. God, why is this dude so bad? Like, I thought him going over and ruining every promotion I love would make him not need a hug. If anything, he's never needed a hug more since coming back to this fucking company. My God. Kirby, I need to step in because I've been on Tam Nakano's head more than anyone. Don't you ever try out the comparison of this traumatized...
Bro, he keeps trying to make this comparison because Tam does rely a lot on emotional manipulation like Cody. The thing that he's blind to is the talent gap.
Yeah, like, Tam achieves genuine pathos with, like, her storytelling emotionally, like that catharsis. Like, yeah, did I want Julia to win at All-Star Grand Queendom? Absolutely. I'm not about to, backtrack what I said. It's public record. But she was so fucking good in that match, that being Tam, and she was so great in the lead-up to that match. Cody could never. I need you to understand, Kirby, because I'm really going to spell this out now, because I'm honestly, like, I'm in a good mood, but I'm simultaneously in no mood, and that makes me in this weird liminal space of just not giving a fuck. I'm going to really spell out for you that if Cody's best day coincided with Tamantha's worst, there is no way in fucking hell, even then, if the stars align that graciously to him, that he would close the gap. He is a failure to her. He is nothing, okay? Nothing. And now, let's see, Super Blue, the point was, it's Brock Lesnar's nature to dominate and prey on people. Yeah, well then why not just say it? Trying to do a parable, I'm about to be way out of pocket here, but if you're doing a parable to compensate that you can't come up with an organic promo, you're probably a mark. And I'm gonna bully you out in the parking lot. Like, I'm gonna wait, and then I'm gonna point, because I believe pointing is important so that they know the laugh is just for you, and I'm gonna laugh at him. And then if other people are like, me, I'm like, no, fingers here, you're good. I loved your match tonight. It's him I'm laughing at. Fuck him. Fuck this fucking dude. Why? You ruined New Japan for me. I can't say you ruined ROH because that already sucked. So honestly, that was natural. You sucked the T to PWG. I thought AEW would get better, but somehow you only exposed them further because I think it actually got worse. So, like, that was awkward. And now you're here, wasting precious TV time. telling fucking stories that I already know. It's like my sister has this whole thing where she loves the Gift of the Magi, and like I'm just picturing like her cutting a promo in a ring in front of thousands of people. You know what this rivalry reminds me of? The Gift of the Magi. I'm the comb and you're the pocket watch. It's like, no, stop it. Come up with natural material. Come up with original material. Stop piggybacking off of other people. Stop making your life the product on screen. God.
But dude, that's literally what he did in AEW that people started hating him for, though.
And you know what? I just need to correct the record here. No, you're not, Dom. I love you to death. I love you. You're a goddamn king to me, but you're also utterly fucking shameless with your heel shit, okay? You're not sorry. You love it. You love every bit of it. Just admit it. Just admit that you love it. And Kirby, put the story. Get a better book. Shelve it. Throw it away. Hell, I'm against incinerating books except for this one. Burn it. Burn it.
This one can go. This one, the fire's ready. It's nice and bright. The charcoals are glowing. Put the book in there.
And if I could ground myself for 2 seconds, although to be honest, I really don't want to for once. I know, I really don't want to. Like, he is genuinely over, and I think he is still something, but like, here's the thing. Everybody's got a bandwidth for this shit. And when are you going to use up the audiences, and when are they going to turn on you? Maybe they won't turn on you until they get the pop being the title win. Oh God, do I be mean with what I say next?
Yes,
no,
do it.
Well, God, I didn't expect
we're
you.
already 85% of the way there. You might as well finish the 15.
Well, I was gonna say if that's what makes you pop, I mean, maybe get better standards. Oh. And so, yeah, I'm awful. I'm sorry, but
God, I thought you were gonna actually be mean. That's just telling the truth.
But no, like if that's what's gonna make him pop, I mean, no, no, like no, I don't want this. Yeah, just I know he's not a sunken cost.
Anybody that does.
Well, apparently these crowds do, and apparently people that watched Mania did, and Stephen Amell.
Right, no, but I'm talking about like real people.
Dude, that's the wrestling equivalent of Russiagate. All the Cody fans are actually bots that WWE created.
You know, it's funny you say Russiagate because I was actually doing a joke about Tony Khan accusing AEW haters on Twitter of being bots.
Oh God. It's not a good sign when Von Wagner is more interesting than Cody Rhodes. Yeah, if it's Von Wagner versus Cody Rhodes, it's not all of the forehead that Von Wagner's taking, it's also all of the interest. And yeah, like, goddamn, just fuck Cody Rhodes. I don't know what he's on about half the time. What do you guys want to talk about? Anything but you. Get over it, because you're not getting over anywhere else.
You fucking dickhead.
Oh God, he's so pretentious, dude. And you know what? That right there. See, because sometimes it's good for me to rant and ramble like that angry grandpa that clearly needs to be in a home, because somewhere I find the hay in the fucking needle stack. And there it fucking
is. The hay in the needle stack, and you even said it on purpose.
It's so fucking insincere. And again, I make a comparison. Him and Sammy. Sammy, he's getting those cheers from people, and he just smiles. He isn't like, yes, I too am a big fan of me. Like,
dude, it's like what Sammy said at the fucking press conference of Backlash when he made fun of Strowman. Oh, he walks into the locker room, he's like, hey, everyone, you hear that pop?
God. No, Sammy doesn't have to try. He doesn't have to put on this performance. And Cody is like, oh, it's Monday Night LARPing where I get to pretend to be a top guy for 20 minutes and put on my suit and cut this emotional promo. I've really been working on crying on cue. It's, oh, God.
God, it's so bad that you're so on point right now.
That's the scary thing when I rant for this long and I don't lose the plot once.
Yeah.
Because he's that shit. You're so fucking insincere. It's like, because Kirby shared this on Twitter. Because look, in all sincerity, you know I fucking love all you guys from Dom to Kirby. Like I love me Kirby. I love the awkward humor. I love the fucking bullshit. And he shared this clip of fucking Tegan Knox, like who was on Main Event. She did one of those screen promos, and she tried being a heel. And I'm like, Tegan,
I saw that. I'm from Wales. We've got the Red Dragon.
It's like I just want to look at it and I'm like, it's like Bubbles in that Powerpuff Girls episode where it's like, oh, Bubbles, you're so cute when you act up. Except the difference is, Bubbles actually shows her darkness at the end of the episode, and with Tegan, it's like, oh no, it's just this is it, huh? This is okay. And you know, like for me, it's a similar thing, albeit very tenuously, with Cody, because it's like I don't buy you like this. I honestly think he'd be better as a heel. Truth be told, like it honestly, if I'm being completely truthful, it does astound me how over he is sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is really doing it for y'all, really?
Is
like,
it
like
though?
I'm not even.
Is it though?
Is it though? Like, I'm not even trying to. Again, I want to just really double down. I'm not trying to be mean. This isn't part of my rant. Like, I'm actually I've sobered up a little bit talking about Tegan. Is this really doing it for you guys? Because I don't see a good baby face here. It just fuck. It's so contrived. And I feel like if we were coming out though and being a heel, it still wouldn't be a good heel, mind you. But at least it would be more believable.
Yes.
And yeah, like. Bro, I'm gonna ask you something because I need to hear a voice desperately other than my own, and I've talked way too much already.
But I like hearing your voice.
And I love hearing your voice, so we need to share, okay? Like,
Okay.
do you think this is a case? And I'm asking. This might be a stupid question, but I am
I
asking.
doubt it. You're very bad at asking stupid questions. Like I
You're
think you
very
might even be incapable of it, honestly.
You're very encouraging of me, and that could be a problem down the road. But do you feel like Cody has a similar issue? Now, obviously, it's different because Rude was meant to be a heel. But do you think it's a case of the theme song is more over than the performer? Because I swear, like, the biggest pop he probably gets is the whoa on the theme song, right? Like, we got a similar dynamic here. 'Cause I don't understand it. Somebody needs to help me understand this.
I don't think you're necessarily on point there. No, I think Jericho might be there. I think that might be a Jericho problem.
That's definitely a Jericho thing. That's definitely a Jericho thing. But like,
Cody, I don't think so. No.
it could get there though. I feel like because with the people that do the whoa and stuff like and the timing and stuff, like I feel like sometimes the theme might be more over than him. But then I also can't deny that people are behind him. It just I don't understand it. I guess that's my problem.
I think this is us being in a bubble because people really legitimately are behind him. It's not just like a meme thing. It's not like people just kind of root for him because it's a big joke and everyone's in on it. They're legitimately behind him.
Yeah, no, I mean you're right. You're right. It's definitely, but see, like again, I want to step out of that bubble and I want to understand, and I can't. I can't. Like Sammy, I get. Sammy, I get. Sammy, I think you've been way on point when you say that Sammy's like the Foley of this generation. And, he has those McFoley vibes. So I get that. Sammy isn't hard to think about. Jay, because I guarantee you, Jay will probably get massive babyface pops when he finally stands up to Roman. That is, if they don't wait too long.
Yeah.
I would get that too. Jay, because you even said it again, to credit you completely. You said it perfectly at Mania. You could tell that Jay stays in shape. Jay, main event Jay Uso is believable. Jay has had genuinely great promos. I would get it for him too. I don't get it with Cody at all. Like I don't.
Dude, here's the thing. I don't get the appeal either. This is one thing where like I think this is just us being two old men shouting at clouds, honestly.
Fuck the cloud. Yeah, I'll fucking lean into it. Fuck the clouds. If this is what they're fucking descending on me to fucking do. Oh, we got a Cody Rhodes with a slight chance of mega play. Yeah, fuck you. Oh god, I hate it. Cause see again, dude, like I'm catastrophizing and I'm already thinking like him and Roman are gonna run it back in Mania 40, and that's why I can't let it go.
Do you remember what I think's gonna happen?
No, can you run that back for us?
I just think Cody's winning the Rumble again and beating Roman at Mania.
Oh god. Oh, so it. Oh god. It fed the fear. I was like, oh no, he's got a sensible plan that isn't anything like what I'm fearing. No, John, it's exactly what you're fearing, and here's how it's gonna happen. No.
Pretty much, yeah. I think the difference is that I'm just zen about it. I've just accepted that it's happening, and there's nothing I can do about it, and I'm just trying to find joy elsewhere.
In the words of Stephen Strange, I forget names right now, but teach me how to be fucking zen.
That was the ancient one that he said that too.
That was the ancient one. Yeah, teach me, because like I look at and for the record, to be crystal clear, it looks beautiful on you, but No, I'm gonna continue to be an angry, pissy little bitch up until this shit happens. Cause no, fuck him,
No.
fuck his brother. What was that?
I was just repeating you. No.
Yeah, cause no, fuck him and fuck his brother who like keeps his head shaved and paints his face, thinks he's better than me. He's still an old fuck, and
He's
he
still an old
fucking keeps me down.
bastard.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, I'm the natural. Yeah, a natural disaster. Get the fuck out of my face. Um, God. Wow, I have a lot of hatred, people, and I am so sorry you had to witness that, but fuck them for ruining
John, I
what
have a
could be an
question
amazing.
for you.
Yeah, what is it?
How dare you
Yeah.
apologize for feeling your feelings, fool?
That's not quite a question, but you know what? I'll take it under
Well,
advisement.
it started with how, so I assume that makes it a question.
You're all right, Ashton. But more importantly, this mania could be fantastic. They just need to stop pushing Cody Rhodes. I don't want to go to the darkest possibility because I know we have a policy here. I never want anybody to get injured, including Cody, because God knows he'll just work through it anyway and make things worse for the culture.
Yeah, no, his injury. If you're a Cody anti, his injury was the worst thing that could have happened to you.
God, he really is like a cancer on this business that thinks he's the savior. Guys, aren't I making wrestling better? You literally worked with like a torn torn pec, and you think you're doing everybody a service. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wait, you
Foster.
mean he's not?
No, he's not. Foster, if you're open to it, I'm gonna need to meet you out back after this and have a big long hug sesh.
Wow,
Cause
that is not the route I thought you were going there.
no, it wasn't the route I thought I was going either until midway through, and I'm like, no, it's hugs. It's hugs.
That's beautiful.
Um,
I applaud
oh,
you.
we actually have a new commenter here. Amari316 said, "Watch Cody Rhodes enter the Rumble at #1 while being half injured and still win the Rumble match."
No, dude, that was even part of my thing. Is I think he's going to enter from #1 and win because it's like telling the full story of him actually having to earn it, as opposed to this year where he won it from 30 with Gunther. You know, the whole thing.
You know, this whole thing about Cody and stories, and this is just gonna be the last thing I say because it's the most nonsensical, and I just need to take a nap.
Proud of you.
Fuck Dusty Rhodes for teaching him how to read. Because if he was illiterate, we never would have had this fucking problem. And I blame you, Dusty. So fuck you for teaching your son how to read, and fuck whatever educational system he was a part of. He should have never discovered books. He doesn't deserve books. He's an asshat. Go fuck yourself. How about you finish that story, piece of shit? Anyway,
Are books too good for Cody Rhodes?
yes.
Unequivocally, yes.
And you know what? Yeah, without hesitation, yes. And I've read some fucking shitters in my childhood. Okay, I read Atlas Shrugged for fuck's sake, and I would even say that is too good for Cody Rhodes.
More
You're
like
a piece
Atlas
of shit.
butt plugged.
I'm stifling the pop. You don't. Hold on, you took me out. Hold on. No.
I've never even read it. I don't even know what it's about.
You're so. I love that for you, you beautiful, innocent little lamb. Don't you ever read it. You're on a good path. You're a leftist. You're doing great, sweetie. But no, he doesn't deserve books. He doesn't deserve literacy. Like, he ended racism. I guarantee you he hasn't read any black authors. I'm willing to bet, at least.
Brandy might have made him, honestly.
Maybe.
But I guarantee you he didn't before he met her.
But you know what, though? No, you know what? That's too personal. I can't go there. I need to stop. I need to be stopped. I'm going to just stop. So
I hope you don't expect me to be the one that stops you, because that ain't going to happen.
Well, no, I'm just going to say, like, no, never mind. All right.
Man,
so
this must have been a really
because like
if you're stifling it that hard.
I don't want to take unnecessary cheap shots, but I'm like, what if it was Oprah or Thomas Sowell or like just like some kind of black, rich, like conservative, whatever people that Brandy made Cody read? Like I just imagine that those are their politics, but I could be wrong though. I could be way off base.
No, I get you. I get you. You're like, oh yeah, Brandy made him read a black author, but it was a big piece of shit black author.
Yeah, and like, you know what though, that's not fair. I should judge on what I see, not what I don't. And what I see is plenty, because God knows that's a fucking dumpster fire every goddamn week. I hate him so much. So speaking of things we hate, since I'm all revved up on negativity, should we talk about AEW now and just rip that band-aid off while I slowly scream?
What do you want to talk about regarding it?
Can we talk about what a Chad fucking Christian is?
Wait,
Because
wasn't
like,
that big promo last week? I didn't think he did much this week.
I thought him and like Luchasaurus. I thought him and Luchasaurus attacked Wardlow. Like Wardlow like
They
called
did.
Christian
That's
out and
true.
yeah,
And they
yeah.
put him through a
Sorry,
ladder,
Wardlow.
and then Wardlow challenged Christian to a ladder match at Double or Nothing.
Well, that was pretty ridiculous, Wardlow, don't you think? I mean, you're kind of a big beefy guy. Christian's a very agile guy, you know.
They're doing a whole storyline where Arn Anderson is teaching Wardlow the art of toxic masculinity.
Oh God, that's
Well, yeah,
depressing. But then again,
Wardlow
that's
was in the
AEW.
trainer's room, and Arn went up to him, and he was like, "Give me that!" And he took the fucking like the ice pack from him, and he was like, "What just happened out there? What are you gonna do about it?" And Wardlow looks at the camera, and he was like, "Christian." Or no, he actually first he told Arn, "I'm gonna beat him in his own game," and then he looks at the camera and he said, "Christian, I want a match with you at Double or Nothing, a ladder match, and I'm gonna beat you." He didn't say it like
God.
that. I'm improvising because I don't remember the promo.
No, because you actually put charisma into it, so you know, God forbid. Um,
That's
I'm gonna be.
really generous of you, and I appreciate it.
I mean, didn't know generous became a synonym for truthful, but I appreciate your face. I I'm really getting sick and tired of being the most intelligent person in this company, or that talks about this company,
Oh,
because like, what are you doing, Wardlow? What are you do like? Because
you're not
I don't know.
using your brain.
Yeah, pretty much. Foster, Foster, you need to simmer down, my guy, because you're gonna kill me. Actually, no, I should never put limits on you. You're beautiful and you're perfect. But like, he just Cody wrestled with a torn pec. Why can't you be like that, Arn? Probably. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this business is so broken. This business is so broken.
I
Okay.
bet you Arn is low key like giving Jungle Boy guidance backstage, and that's how we got where we are.
Oh, Arn. I liked it better when I heard you were waving a gun around, but honestly, that also kind of tracks and is kind of dark for the time we're
Feeds the
living in.
narrative. What?
God, I feel like I was about to rip my own mouth open as my next form crawled out because it just wants to escape. Oh God! So let me ask you something, friend.
I like
Because
being
you're
asked questions.
I know. Look at how beautiful and wholesome he is, everyone appreciate Ashton for 2 seconds.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
but how do you feel knowing that Sammy Guevara is allegedly the babyface now in this Fatal 4-Way? Isn't that great that he's
Wait.
like getting babyface pops and being supported?
What?
Yeah, because apparently he made the save with fucking Jungle Boy, right, and Darby Allin in some kind of confrontation or
Well,
whatever the
okay, so
fuck.
but he's not the baby face. He's just another of the baby faces again now.
Which is so weird because usually, like with multi-person matches, they like to, in my mind, they either like it majority face, which I guess this would be,
Or
to be
half and
fair,
half, yeah.
or half and half.
Well,
And I
no,
thought
don't
they'd
they
go to half
usually like
and
it majority heel? Don't they usually like to make it feel like the face is kind of like cornered?
well. Perhaps if the face is a champion, yes, but since a heel is a champion, I would say no in that case.
Interesting.
Because like obviously you want the heel to feel threatened, right? Like in a way, and then you want more good guys because it's like we can all do it together. And no, you can't. Don't you
Bro,
fucking.
I'm sorry, I have to ask. Was that meant to be like the gingerbread man from Shrek?
No, but I'm glad I did it for you.
That's what not my buttons, not my gumdrop buttons.
Yeah, Dominique Adams, he said, I gotta be blunt, which I guess reading the rest of the comment, he meant I gotta be truthful. Besides Darby, ew, I cannot see Jungle Boy or Sammy as actual threats to MJF in this match. I mean, Darby's a threat because he's a pathological liar and probably a sociopath. I'd be afraid of defending my title against somebody like Darby too, for sure. But yeah, as far as
Man, can you imagine a world where Darby Allin just, I don't know, sucks less?
dude, that would be. You gotta really keep it together. That would be. Fuck. That would be amazing. So God, I worked so hard for so little. Sad for you, oh DBZ. How I wish we were talking about that right now instead of this fucking shit. But anyway,
Bro, holy shit. My mom and I were watching Power Rangers earlier, and in the first episode of Time Force, there's this moment where they're transporting the big bad to a prison, and on the way, they come across this woman laying across the street looking like she's in pain or dead, and they go up to her, and they're like, somebody call an ambulance. And then you see her nails grow, and in that moment I was like, but not for her. And she literally stands up and slashes him, and then she goes, the ambulance is going to be for you. And I'm just like, oh, that delivery could have been so much better.
But still better than most people with a microphone in AEW, probably.
Sad but true. Remember
Oh
when AEW was like the place to go if you were a good promo?
Wait, I'm sorry, because I must have been in my own little world there. Can you just run that back again? Because all I heard was good promo there.
Yeah, I said, remember when AEW was like the place to be when you were a good promo? Like when AEW was known as like the promo company?
Yeah, and then you went from that to Jungle Boy being like, yeah, I don't really like promos. So you don't like being a pro wrestler? What the fuck are you talking about? Oh my god,
You're in the wrong business, kid.
oh my god, it's like my toxicity is screaming to me, John, just let me out. Just let me just go ham on these fuckers. And I'm like, no, we're reformed. And it's like, no, your reform is a lie. You're around bullshit, you know it. Oh god, deep breaths. So we're doing it, right? We're doing this fatal four-way, right? It's gonna happen. It's
I mean, it
happening.
took him a while to get there, but eventually, yeah, that's what we ended up.
Yeah, eventually, yeah. You're just so over it. You're just like, yeah, it is. It's like, oh god, how do you keep your shit together when everything's so bad? I don't understand. Oh god, I really need to calm down. This is like the time I've said
Are
this.
you sure you're okay?
No, I'm really not, because I'm starting to see what's wrong with literally everything.
Holy shit!
I can't handle it. I literally can't handle it right now. I think I'm dissociating and I don't know. Okay.
Oh no!
We're all doing
Where's
great,
your
right?
son, by the way?
Where is my son? God, I didn't become a surrogate father just so I could be abandoned in the 9th inning.
Jesus Christ!
Jesus. Oh God. I'm starting to laugh so hard now everything hurts. Okay, he's probably sleeping like a good egg.
Oh.
And I love that for him. Oh, Umbra. God, Umbra, you're making it worse. They also had Tony Khan making an announcement, the announcement being an announcement to announce the announcement the week after that last announcing. Yeah, I had a feeling that this was that. No, Javaris.
Well, Javaris, you've set us back about 90 seconds bare minimum.
Damn it, I was getting it together unlike this company.
Holy shit!
So fuck. No. You have to suck it back in, and I have to suck it back in, and we have to do this. Okay. It sucked.
Holy shit, it worked!
It sucked. I contained it. So yeah, again, the problem with this fatal four-way, now Sammy, I think, is getting more babyface reactions, and I don't know what AEW is going to do with that, and that's, I think, the only reason I'm worried. Because I don't, like, we always say, like, oh, Rocket League doesn't know what it wants. Sometimes I fear that is AEW. Because like you said, like, Shiny Toy Syndrome. What is Shiny Toy Syndrome other than, I don't really know what I want, which is why I can't make any commitments, and I'm just going to, like, invest all my love in novelty until, like, that's worn out, and then,
Yeah, no,
like,
that's exactly what it is, dude. That's exactly what it is. You just described the exact problem with AEW is that they have invested so much in that novelty and just this idea of, like, we're the new kids on the block and we're not WWE. It's like Biden. Like, Biden didn't run on anything other than being not Trump. And it worked. But, like, how much longer, like, is it going to work again in 2024? I guess we have to almost kind of hope, because that's what we're going to be faced with.
Corn Pop was a top heel. I will say that much.
I never met the guy.
Yeah.
But I hear he was a bad dude.
And what was the other part? And he ran with some
bad
pretty bad
guys, I think. I don't remember.
Yeah. He's so old. Gerontocracy is the worst. God, what the fuck else happened? Well, Jericho and Cole did stuff. I want to care
Oh
about
yeah,
Adam
no, it was
Cole.
the Falls Count Anywhere match between Jericho and Roderick Strong, right?
Oh, was it Falls Count Anywhere? I didn't know
It
that.
was something like that, something along those lines. Well, yeah, because
Um,
Roderick pinned Jericho in the fucking parking lot, didn't he?
oh my, dude. To be honest, I didn't see it.
Something like
So,
that. Something like that went down for sure.
I mean, I will give AEW credit for this.
Fucking Umbra changes his name to Jungle Bad Boy.
Oh my, Umbra. I'm shocked he hasn't done it already.
That's the vibe for sure. He really wants you to think so.
God, I want to feud with Jungle Boy so bad because he'd be talking shit and I'd be looking everywhere like
Louis
over.
Janela
Like,
sends a cease and desist.
yeah. Oh my God! Remember when he was employed with that company?
He does. He'll
So,
remind you about it every day if you let him.
oh God, he's one of those.
Of course he is. Look at him.
I know you're probably tired of hearing this, but that tone was perfectly selected.
I'll never get tired of
Fuck.
hearing you compliment my tone ever.
Oh, that's really good because I had no plans of stopping anytime soon. But
Nice.
yeah, I will give AEW credit for this. Unironically, we do talk all the time about like if you're gonna do a Falls Count Anywhere match, take advantage of it because you've literally opened up the world to be your wrestling ring for the for whatever match Falls Count Anywhere match you're having. So for it to end in the parking lot, I can give it credit for that. Like, yeah, that's really using your stip effectively. I don't know though. Here's the thing. I don't know though if I agree with Roderick winning. If you're right that he did win,
Yeah, he
because
did. He definitely did.
so like I don't have a problem with Roderick.
Because I was in a call with Javaris, and I know Javaris was like, "Oh man, Jericho's gonna beat Roderick Strong here," and I was like, "Are you sure about that?" And then
Yeah.
it ended up that he didn't. Roderick actually won, and we were all surprised by it because it was also like Curtis and Craig and Dominique was in there with us, and it was awesome because Dominique almost never shows up for these calls, and it was wonderful to have him.
Oh yeah, Dom, you're wonderful. We love you. But yeah, I have to agree. I do think just conceptually hearing about it, it's a mistake because I've got no problem with Roderick personally. I even think as a performer, he still competes at a higher level than he should at this stage of his career. Like that's a testament to him. But how does that make Jericho the threat now? Like my best friend that came back to support me already beat you. So not only did he support me, he practically took care of this business for me.
Yeah.
So like, bye. I'm just gonna, yeah.
That was my Abel impression. Did I do well?
10 out of 10.
Nice.
Oh, amazing. But yeah, like, my friend's already taking care of you for me, so I'm just gonna cancel our match because I'm assuming they're having a match at Double or Nothing.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they do already.
So I'm gonna cancel our match at Double or Nothing, and I'm gonna sit in the back. I'm gonna watch the Fatal 4-Way, and then I'm gonna take the winner. So thanks for nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cole did help Roddy win.
That's fair, but like Jericho has a whole ass faction that could have helped him win.
They did. They tried.
And they failed. So like you got humiliated. Like if anything, that's worse. Cause like I came out to help. Now I'm guessing also Orange Cassidy.
I think is Sammy like no longer with the JAS anymore? Like is he split from them now that he's supposed to be like a babyface?
It seems. Yeah, it seems like he is split from them again until he rejoins them.
Really does. Maybe that's why Daniel Garcia is such an awful character because he can't possibly know who he's supposed to be if he's working for a company that doesn't even know what it wants from him.
Daniel Garcia, just from the video packages we've watched, genuinely looks like he's being treated better in PWG and probably has a better grounded sense of self in PWG.
He even looks healthier in PWG. Like when he shows up in PWG, he looks like he's happier and healthier and like he's having a better time than when he's on AEW television.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely agree with you. No notes. Like I'm right there with you, bro. It's kind of a mind fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's see. Dominique said technically it's an unsanctioned match. So if Jericho were to beat Adam, it wouldn't technically count, right? Right? Oh well. Oh God. Oh God. That's what I was gonna kind of get to at the beginning, and thank God the reins were taken from me because I don't even know if I was ready to, have that discourse. But I want to like Adam Cole. I want to thirst for Adam Cole. I feel like I haven't been able to do that. It bothers me. It bothers me that jawline. I'm apathetic about it. What?
Aww,
literally fucking what?
Really sad.
Yeah, it is. Nature worked hard on that. I deserve to be able to appreciate it. And Tony Khan's like, oh, we're just gonna put him with fucking Jericho, which I'm not gonna, body shame or any of that shit, but I will say the man's got his head up his fucking ass, and like, God. I really like Jericho better when he would do like a year or two of wrestling and then like 2 to 3 years of music and kind of alternate. And I'm like, don't you want to go on tour? Don't you want to like do stuff with Fozzy so that you can go away from AEW for a little bit? Um,
So since we
so
used to call him Dad Bod Jericho, can we call him Dad Ass Jericho now?
that's amazing. We can definitely do that. We
Does
should
he
do
have
that.
his dad ass or his dad head up his dad ass?
Yeah, I would say so. That head is all up in that dad ass. Yeah.
His dad head. Dad head even works on multiple levels because like, what's the most common phenotype of a Trump supporter?
Oh God, I don't know.
Divorced white middle-aged dads that are angry about
Oh,
everything.
oh my God.
You know I'm not wrong.
I'm sorry, because you're saying divorced dads and me thinking conservatives make me think of Steven Crowder.
Dude, yes, exactly, exactly. I mean, he was conservative before the divorce, but he's gonna still be a conservative after the divorce too.
Now I'm just picturing Jericho telling Cole, "You're not taking the win," the way Crowder said, "You're not taking the car." And then
Oh no! Oh god!
Jericho punctuated by being like, "Oh yeah, and you're not taking the win, Adam. Change my mind." Like, oh, fuck. Oh, oh. Fuck Steven Crowder. I still, every time I think about it, I do get to laugh at the dude a little bit, and it just,
Oh yeah,
I'll be
Karen
honest.
Jarrett showed up this week. That's right.
Oh God, that did happen. I heard about that one. No.
Your voice pitch went up so high.
Unlike the ratings.
Dude, they've been tanking so bad.
Oh
Remember when
God.
MJF was all bragging like, I am the second biggest money ratings draw in this company, and then it's just like, oh yeah, prove it.
I'm so fucking turned up right now. I want to make Hannibal Lecter sounds for no reason, but I'm suppressing at maximum right now.
Why would you suppress that? We all want to hear it.
But it needs to have context, and there's nothing delicious to do it for right now.
MJF had the lowest rated segment this week.
Oh,
I mean, it was
oh,
only
oh.
15 seconds out of 15 minutes, but it's still something we're dunky on.
Oh God, yeah. Well, dude, it's like, fuck. Because I don't even know what is the big. It's Wembley Stadium, right? All in,
Coming
or
up
am
with
I
all
getting
in,
like
yeah,
everything
yeah.
wrong? Okay, so wow, okay. So I'm better at this
Way to
job than
put
I
your
thought I was.
finger more on the pulse than you realize, John.
Yeah,
Proud of
unironically,
you.
yeah.
And your face, which is
God, thank you.
exceptional, by the way.
I love everyone. You're all beautiful. Fuck, I wish I was hot right now just so I could hug everyone.
That
Fuck.
was such a perfect comment. Oh my god.
But yeah, like I don't know. Obviously, I want wrestlers to get paid and stuff, but honestly, dude, this is what concerns me. I'm definitely starting to get bitter because I'm like, do I when they're such pieces of shit? Like, do I want you to sell that T-shirt?
Yes,
Eh.
because like they're not as big a pieces of shit as the exploitative billionaire pieces of shit that would be losing money by paying them.
Yeah. Way to keep the Marxist line, bud. Proud of you. No,
Yeah.
you're right. Right. Bleed that fucking billionaire out. I actually took a tick off my cup of water like a few days ago. It was kind of
Ew.
horrifying. I've never like had a tick in my room before, but we know like Riddick's been like dealing with a lot of them. And
Aw.
thinking now all crumbled on the table because I squished it between my two fingers like a fucking god.
Ew.
I'm like, yeah, that's Tony Khan. That's Vince McMahon. Just like that. Just like that.
Leech. Well, they're
And
more leeches, but similar vibes.
yeah, similar vibes for sure. And it's like, yeah, just pull off the
They're
leash,
like,
baby.
imagine if a leech had an
Mm.
infinitely stretchable epidermis.
Look, I know this is really not what I should be grabbing on at all, but the way you said epidermis
I knew you were gonna comment on it. I fucking knew it.
did things to me, and no apologies are needed, like at all. Um, the biggest pop of anything AEW related we've talked about for like the past feels like 40 minutes at least. And it's funny because we've been going live for apparently 69 minutes now, which I can just say,
Nice.
nice. Yes.
Dude, speaking of, you know that fantasy redraft that I've been doing?
Yeah.
The pick that I had to take a break from Rocket League to make was the 420th pick in the draft.
Nice.
I made sure to post a cigarette smoking and a leaf emoji alongside it.
Oh god, that's superb. So yeah, as should be plainly obvious to anybody with any sensibility left that isn't me, I don't know what the fuck's happening. I don't even like what I do know. I don't think I've ever craved ignorance as much as I have when AEW happened in my life.
You want to talk about Billy Graham being dead?
Oh yeah, I did post about that. Yeah, it happened. He lived, he was a piece of shit, and then he died. So, way to go, Billiam. Way to go.
Rest in piss.
Indeed, all that piss. Um, what the fuck? Oh well, I guess Jade and Ty are gonna be running it back for the TBS championship.
Oh yeah, Double or Nothing. You know, Double or Nothing's one of those shows that we're definitely not gonna even remotely even think about reacting to, because fuck that. But I'll probably still watch it in a call with the boys when it happens.
I'm pretty sure if you were thinking about it, you were just silently observing me having a breakdown like 10 minutes ago, and you were like, oh no, we're just gonna shuffle that away there.
Oh no,
Um,
no. I was never that psychotic to think about it. No.
yeah, that you know what? I appreciate you a lot. You're beautiful.
Because here's the
Super
thing.
Blue.
Here's the thing,
Yeah.
though. I need you to realize I know that I enjoy AEW more than you, and I know that I have no interest in reacting to it, so I know damn sure that you've got no interest in it.
I would pull a Cody. I'd be like, okay, Ashton, I'll react to this pay-per-view out of protest. Like, fucking dweeb, get the fuck out of here. Um, Super Blue, MJF is a madman. He knocked the mic out of Renee's hand. I'm like, are you insane, Moxley? Isn't it? Moxley ain't doing shit.
God, what is Moxley gonna do? Get into a shouting contest with him backstage until Tony threatens their paychecks?
Yeah, the moment MJF opens his mouth back and he shouts back, Mox will have to take 2 seconds to blade from how loud the words were, and then fucking make that into a fucking work. Fuck this company, man. I hate this whole fucking company. Every time I'm like, no, I'm gonna be better for everyone because Foster's beautiful and I want to hug Javaris and Umber's a sweetheart and I'm so happy he's part of our family now and Dominique is cool. Like everybody that joins us for these is fucking awesome. I should put on my best, you know? And this is what happens. You get like a close to middle-aged spiraling person that's like, why isn't this wrestling just good? Like, I'm not going out and touching. That's not happening. I'm not touching grass. That's not happening. So you either have to get good or I have to spiral. There's no in between. Okay? Just get good. Fuck.
You know, if that's the ultimatum, I'm so sorry, John. You're gonna be spiraling for a while, bud.
I know. And you know what? No, I appreciate it. You're one of the last person that needs to apologize to me about anything. I mean, if anything, I'd appreciate that from Tony Khan.
It's not me taking responsibility for anything. I know that I have no control over the situation. It's an apology, empathetically. I feel bad for you.
Okay, so Amari 316. Normally, I would save this for the Q&A at the end. We do that, Amari, just so you know, when we have questions about this week in the world of wrestling.
There's a new drama with AEW Collision and Ace Steel with Punk?
I did hear something about it, but I didn't look in depth into it. But I only thought we'd address it now because
nothing about this. Okay, that's interesting.
Does anybody want to fill in the gaps for us? Because this is one case where I will indulge it now because we are on AEW and we just talked about
CM Punk. Would be very appreciated for sure.
Yeah.
I love it when the gaps get filled, man. That's the best.
Ooh, yeah.
I know you're working out, but I can barely understand you because of your fucking noise cancellation shit.
No, I'm trying to keep it together because that sniped me and took me out. You didn't have a right to do that.
Amazing. I love it.
So, okay, so long story short, Punk won't come back with Ace Steel. Well, then I guess he'll die. Yeah, like, no. But Tony will, though. He'll acquiesce. God.
Wait, what? That's fucking hilarious. Holy shit.
Oh, by the way, you have nothing to apologize.
I know that I'm not Tony Khan because I do have a spine, but if he had one, they would be so get the fuck out of here. It's not even funny.
God, how do I say this without reproducing toxic masculinity? This dude is a closet sub big time. Like, he projects this air of leadership. Oh, I'm not gonna take any more of this fucking shit as he looks
Dude.
around the camera wondering why the room is spinning. Fucking shit.
Holy shit, the way you put that. You owned him without even trying.
God. Dude, you know they're going to be around forever, too. Because, like, TNA's still around, and I thought they were going to die. There were at least 5 times that I thought they were going to die in, like, the last 10 years, and they're still going. So it's like, the fuck are we doing?
I
The fuck's
can't
happening?
believe that's a real story. Holy shit.
How are people like Io, Kyrie, and how are these beautiful people professional wrestlers in an industry that historically has just been so bad? Like, I don't... If anything, I'm kind of marveling at them now in a weird like we have unicorns in pro wrestling because I don't understand how genuinely really good people can be in this fucking industry when there are so many shitters and cowards and sycophant, like just so bad. Yeah, like
Really bad.
fuck, like dude, see people. Pro wrestling should inspire all of us to do class revolution on God, because you would think because they're billionaires, they don't take shit. They predict this like, oh, what I say goes. This is who they really are. They're insecure, cowardly fucking people that shield themselves from the wealth that they hoard because they don't want to face the real world, i.e., their real internal issues. If Tony really acquiesces and gives back fucking Ace Steel, if I'm Punk, I'm like, oh, I just run this shit because that's what Punk always wanted.
It's just his show. He just runs
Yeah.
it. He gets to have control of who is on Collision and who isn't. It's literally just his show to run at that point.
And isn't that literally what Triple H said? Is like the only reason he just hated John Cena is he knows he'd be the exact same way if he was in Cena's spot. And
100%.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
dude, the thing is, like, as soon as that quote came out, I think all of us in the TWitWoW community were like, "Oh yeah, that rings true. That makes a lot of sense. That's on point."
yeah. Like, God, voice of the voiceless, my fucking ass, Jesus Christ.
More like you're the voice of your buddies that you think were unjustly fired. Shut the fuck up.
And we need to circle back to this. I'm sorry, everyone, because we probably could have driven. No. In this case, I need to because we could have driven past this, no problem. I'm still stuck on the fact that they trotted out Karen Jarrett on AEW too, and I'm still stuck on the fact that Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett are going to challenge for the tag titles because that's happening, right? I'm not.
No, that's happening.
Yeah,
100%.
No, yeah. I just once, and again, this is not your fault. I don't mean to like direct tone at you, obviously, but just once, I would love for you to tell me, no, John, what the fuck are you talking about? You're wrong. They're actually giving it to this good tag team. Why AEW am I constantly right about you?
Cage are the real challengers.
Yeah, something like that. But no, when I'm like, hey, Ashton, wouldn't it be funny if Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, because they're kind of together on this AEW thing, wouldn't it be funny if they challenged for the tag titles? And rather than shutting me down, you have the unfortunate position, but that's happening though. Why, AEW? Why are you doing this to me?
There was time here.
You know what? Fuck Henry Beam is. You should have had an extra pair of glasses. You have no one to blame but yourself. But you know what, though? Also, fuck your anti-intellectual society that, like, didn't want you to read. God forbid. I don't know. Fuck it. What was I even gonna say?
I feel like I just heard you hit your desk like 4 times in a row out of indecision.
Yeah, I'm spiraling, people.
We can hear it. It's okay.
So wait, who are the tag team champions again?
FTR.
Oh, it's FTR again, right?
Yeah.
They're not dropping the titles to fucking.
No. It's a filler defense. Isn't it funny though how when FTR get the titles, they get filler defenses, whereas everyone else, it's like every title run or every title match at a pay-per-view is either a complete joke against multiple teams, where it's anything could go, anything could happen. You never know what Tony's gonna do by his whims, or it's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
And then they lose the titles to the joke anyway because the Gun Club exists.
You know what the only cool thing? Well, yes. Just to acknowledge that I heard what you said there. The only cool thing in AEW really does seem to be House of Black. Like they seem to be doing the only interesting thing with these like
rules. I
would
appreciate you acknowledging them.
Yeah, no, I'm being for real. Like, look, there's got to be a bright spot in all this, right? House of Black is cool, right? right? Somebody needs to assure me right fucking
Oh,
now before
I'm
I
sorry
start
for
looking
not
for them.
saying something sooner. Yes, they're cool as hell.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
Jesus.
I don't, just to be 100% frank, we almost lost me. Because if I was not assured in that moment, I'm
Well,
gone.
I mean, you did just call yourself Frank, so are you sure we haven't lost you already, John?
That that was a dad joke I can not only tolerate but smile about. That was well done. Um, so House of Black are cool. What are they doing? Like, do they have a defense coming up at the
Um,
pay per view?
that's a really good question. What are they doing? I know they had a thing recently. Julia Hart did a thing. I know Buddy Matthews challenged for Orange Cassidy's international title within the last few weeks and failed. I really don't know for sure, honestly. You know what? Let me look it up. House of Black cage match. Cage match is, the community itself. I have no interest in being a part of because it's just a bunch of fucking nerdy marks that are really, really obnoxious. But as a resource, cage match is invaluable.
Oh yeah, I love it just to see like how many matches people have had and stuff like that. Like, yeah,
Oh
it's a
yeah,
great
that
database.
open house match that they had, not this week, but the week before that, against Bandito and the Best Friends that they won. That was pretty cool. They had special rules because it was like a House of Black specialty match.
Since you're the guy that I know is really good about like the numbers and the charts and all that, I mean beyond the meme, I know you really do take data very seriously and you keep your finger on the pulse. Are House of Black a draw that
Oh,
you've
I
seen?
have
Or
no clue.
you have no clue. Oh, yeah, because I would hope that they would draw people in. Because I mean, here's the thing. Beyond women's wrestling, I'm not going to say that trios wrestling is a draw, but I do think it can be. I think we are in a time where people have kind of figured out, and really, I would credit Lucha Underground for kind of laying the blueprint for this personally. Um, how to make like 6-man tag matches exciting or just 6-person tag matches exciting, and to know that that's kind of their whole thing, I'm like, yeah, that can work. Um, let's see. Oh, Orange Cassidy's defense title on a battle royal. Yeah, Umbra, Ash and I have talked about this the last couple episodes of Weekend Review. It's amazing to me that they've kind of made Orange Cassidy the workhorse champion when he's got like a comedy gimmick. It's just
Yeah,
there's
we've
an
had a
asymmetry there.
pretty lengthy discussion about the flaws with Orange Cassidy as the
Yeah.
international champion right now. Yeah,
I,
I
yeah, I
don't.
wish I could remember what episode exactly because I'd love for you to hear a number if you haven't already because I don't want to obviously reprise it here. But yeah,
It was probably the week that he successfully defended against Bandito.
probably yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Umbra said they did listen to. Okay, then no harm done then. But yeah, just to say, Umbra, that we totally get where you're coming from because we're right there with you. It's really kind of mind boggling to me. We already talked about Jade and Taya. Oh, somebody mentioned, and was it Umbra even again? Somebody had mentioned the idea of like, oh yeah, yeah. Oh no, it was Dominique actually. It was Dominique. Oh, and the possibility of Soraya winning the women's world title at All In Wembley is hilarious.
Yeah,
Uh
yeah. I think it was either Javaris or Curtis that brought that up in the call that we were in on Wednesday, and I just shuddered because it's such a Tony Khan move. It seems almost too likely to the point that I just expect it at this point. Like I can't imagine Tony Khan's brain cooking up anything more creative than that.
dude, I don't want to be hyperbolic, and I don't mean to be when I say this, but sometimes I feel really bad for Jamie Hayter, man, because sometimes I worry that she's going to be the person that like was one of the bright spots in every place she went to because I loved her in Stardom too. I really wanted her to be that, like,
Wonder.
Ann Hansen, right?
Yeah.
That Stan Hansen level of Gaijin heel. She did great there, but I feel like she left too early for my liking. That's
Same.
purely a
No,
subjective thing.
same. Agree.
Um, then she goes to AEW. She makes her mark there. Looks professional. Acts the part. It's probably one of the most professional people in that company because it sure as hell isn't CM fucking Punk. Um, I'm on his and Cody's head today. Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them for sure.
And now if she loses to Saraya, it's like, can this woman just catch a break to show how great she actually is? Like, I feel like she's never going to get the chance to really prove it. I think to put it concisely, that's my fear, dude, is that she's going to be one of those people that's like not necessarily underrated, but I guess you could kind of say that. And it's like, we know she could have been somebody if only she had a company that believed in her as much as we did. And I don't think this is the company either. But like, is it even WWE? Did she just come too early into professional wrestling? I don't even know.
Well, and
I
dude,
just
of
feel
course,
bad for her.
too, if you even attempt to say anything remotely close to what we're saying right now on social media, the AEW fans in droves will be like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's the current AEW Women's Champion," and that's just like you're telling on yourself. This is a bad faith argument. You're literally telling me that you don't watch the product or that you're actively trying to be ignorant about my point.
Exactly. And she's too talented for this shit, man. And I'm look, Soraya
And to be
wins.
clear, we're
Fine.
not saying she's too talented for AEW, although that point could be argued. What we're saying
Yeah.
is that she's too talented to be a nobody champion. She is the champion of the women's division. And yet, even still, I just saw a graphic the other week. It was going to be it might have even been this week, actually. I think it was this week. It was the the 6-woman tag match that was her, Britt, and Sheeta against the Outcasts. And who was in front of the graphic of her team? It was fucking Britt.
Yeah. Like, dude, you're going to the fucking UK. How have there not been promotional materials out the ass centering Jamie Hayter? Like, I don't get
It's
it. I
like
don't
they forget that she's British too. Like, y'all realize that Saraya isn't your only British girl, right? What?
I'm hearing the incredulity in your voice, and like it's resonant hard because I'm the same way, dude. I'm like, you're doing this big show. She's genuinely open. Now, I hope she hasn't lost her overness because I'm totally disconnected from this fucking shit. But I'm assuming she still gets pops. I'm assuming
If
people
she
still
has
love
lost
her.
her overness, it's to no fault of her own. It's entirely on the fact that she's not fucking used. It's the Wardlow situation all over again.
And another thing too, like it's bad enough that you have a pay-per-view in the fucking UK with a women's champion from the UK, and I haven't really seen much promotional material about her.
No.
But then also, like, I haven't forgotten the original sin, at least as far as this title reign. You have her main event at Dynamite with Sheeta. That wasn't the problem. The problem was you saw how well, or at least you should have seen how well that did, and then you were like, "We're never doing that again. That's it. Like, we're not treating her that seriously again. We're still gonna give Britt more mic time. Like, give this woman the fucking ball." And now it feels like I'm speaking into the void because I could see Saraya just ending this title reign.
And
And I'm like,
that's the thing too, is like, again, like I said, I could see that happening, and I can't imagine Tony Khan's little brain coming up with anything more creative than that. And it's just so ridiculous too, because again, Jamie's also British, guys.
yeah, yeah. It's like right fucking there, dude. It's right fucking there. I don't know, man. I get so tired because then when I think about Jamie, I don't know what kind of career she wants. Maybe she's totally happy, and if she is unironically great, I'm happy for her. She deserves it. I just know that I believe in Jamie Hayter to be like a top woman in any company. But I just don't think any company in this era would want to give her the ball. Like I don't think if she would go to WWE, I can't be like, oh, well, WWE will get it right because I don't believe that. That would be completely disingenuous on my part. So that's why I even said, like, I almost wonder if she like arrived too early being as good as she is, because maybe this wasn't the era she was meant to really, stake her claim in, but she's working with what she's got. I'd still love her to go back to Stardom. God, if she went back to Stardom now with like how she's completely transformed and like the muscles she's put on everything, dude, you could put the red belt on her and I totally believe it. I'd be, oh my
100%.
God.
Yes.
Oh my
I
fucking
would be
God,
so
dude.
behind that. Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God, dude, I want it so bad now. Or at the very least, IWGP Women's Champion, where she
Yep.
could actually hold it for a good bit.
Yeah, and work around the world. Get her to work in New Japan Strong. Get her to work maybe some Impact. Get her to work some Ring of Honor. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe keep her away from Ring of Honor because fuck Tony Khan. But yeah,
yeah, yeah. Oh my God. What else to talk about, friend? I mean, Keith Lee and Old Dust apparently got beat up by Swerve and his faction.
Oh,
Oh
when
my
was that? Was that
God.
on Friday? Was that on Rampage?
That might have been Rampage. I think it was Rampage, actually. Yeah, because I remember talking
Interesting.
with Curtis about it. Because, like, Javaris, you're actually going to have to give me some context on this, because this is one of those moments where, you know how the Discord is. It's always popping. So many conversations are always happening at once. So at times, I don't even know when, like, I'm being tapped on the shoulder, like, hey, John, give your thoughts on this. So, like, I get pulled in a conversation between Javaris And Curtis, because Javaris is talking about again like AEW with black wrestlers, and Curtis I think was making the case of like it's not that it's not bad, but it's just not as bad as you think it is. And he was saying that like, well, Swerve's got his own faction, and they're doing this stuff now.
Yeah, Swerve's got his own faction full of white guys.
Yeah, like a hit row, it is not. And he was the best part of that faction too. We glaringly saw that when they had to work without him.
Yeah.
And I guess my thing that I tried to explain to Curtis, I don't know if I did it well, admittedly, and that's on me. But it's like, fine, you gave him a faction. Fine, you give Keith a tag partner. And fine, even on the bare level, you're giving him TV time, which is always a start, and it's always better than being in catering. Sure, concede all of that. But like, these guys have so much to give. You see that, right? I mean, clearly they don't. Again, rhetorical question. But like, where is that faction even going to go? Can it at least go to the TNT championship? I mean, it's treated like a hot potato thing anyway. Would it really hurt to give Swerve a fucking TNT title run? Keith and Dustin. I don't want to see them win the tag titles. I already saw Keith win the tag titles with the best partner possible in Swerve. Like, him winning with Dustin would be a massive downgrade. Can I see him? Actually, can I see an interesting twist? Because I like Keith as a babyface. Dustin turning on him and maybe coming up with some bullshit like, you think because you're big and you're strong that, you don't need a guy like me. I've been in this business forever. You can't eclipse my veteran wisdom or whatever the fuck he'd want to like prattle on about. Then Keith squashes him and moves on to something like these are two of the most interesting guys in the game that you have the privilege of having at a time when people are excited about pro wrestling being competitive. And also, I should say, by the way, at a time when pro wrestling is learning how to market being progressive with champions like Bianca Belair, Io Shirai getting a huge pop in Puerto Rico, being a Joshi star, Asuka being forever over, getting that mainstream appeal. And you've got two amazing, talented black guys. By the way, in a time when you can never be short on black male role models, with that little thing called white supremacy that exists and police brutality. And you're sticking one of them with an old white guy that I'm pretty sure says Blue Lives Matter under his breath. Dustin just has that energy to me for fucking days. And then you're putting the other guy in a faction with all fucking white dudes. And like, I don't really get the point there. So, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my god. So, like, I honestly, I still can't even believe that Keith and Dustin are still teaming. Like, I thought, like, legitimately, when I thought about it,
like,
yeah, of course.
Swerve's new tag partner is Brian Cage, which, like, what is he but, like, the white version of Keith Lee?
Yeah. And I like Cage, but, like, why? I don't understand. Like,
that's
what is the...
That's what I don't get, is, like, why are Swerve and Keith Lee, why did they go from being tag team partners to seemingly starting a blood feud with each other to now they're both in tag teams with white dudes and kind of passive aggressively going after each other in passing? Like, Tony Khan needs a fucking creative help, man. This is pathetic.
Yeah, he needs creative help. He needs some goddamn diversity in the room. And I'm not just talking about like, I think diversity or whatever, because I'm pretty sure he's also surrounded by yes men or whatever. And he needs people that will tell him no and tell him shit for the good of the company, not for the good of themselves. Again, CM Punk.
Yeah, and the funny thing too is that like Javaris even asked, this might have even been last night. It might have been on Wednesday. It might have been last night. Javaris even asked why the fuck Keith and Swerve hasn't been. Dude, you got to realize they've been broken up since like December, and they haven't had a singles match.
Dude, I'm so glad you brought that up because legitimately, like, I didn't want to tell on myself. I mean, I think it's a little too late for that, but I didn't want to tell on myself even harder, right? And be like, how long have they been feuding? Because to me, it's felt like so long, but I'm like, but where shouldn't the blow off have happened already? Like, what's like,
bro? Not only has there not been a blow off, there hasn't been a match. There has not been a singles match between them at all. And I'm literally looking at the Double or Nothing card, and it's not even on there.
Jesus Christ! And when I say you, let me be crystal clear because I know I'm tilting again. This is round 2 of me talk because I can feel it. Tony Khan, you are a abysmally failing your fucking black wrestlers. Because even Jade, to kind of circle back to that, I know people are getting tired of just like her just like winning matches, her just squashing and then just cutting seemingly like the same promo, right? So you're not really doing her a service by like giving her any material that really challenges her. Like any kind, like Taya might be the closest because I know she's coming back and she might even win at Double or Nothing. I don't know. Part of me doubts it, to be quite honest, but we'll see.
I doubt it too, because I still think they're just saving that title win for Chris Statlander when she comes back healthy.
Exactly.
Which
but
might
it's like,
honestly even be, she might even return after the Taya match. I think we could see Statlander return after the match. Maybe she saves Taya from a beatdown, and we get tag matches where it's Taya and Statlander versus Jade and maybe Layla Gray, I guess, is the only member left of her little crew. And eventually Taya turns on Statlander, and we get a feud between them leading up to eventually Statlander having to earn contendership for the TNT title, and that blows off at All In.
yeah. I mean, bro, I've kind of held off doing any kind of a rant. I mean, like really like an angry whatever rant. I don't think I'm gonna do one here because honestly, we're so late in this recording now that I'm like, just fuck AEW and I'm dispirited again and all this shit. But it really needs to be said. Swerve and Keith are genuinely amazing at what they do. And look, I didn't like them being a tag team the first time because what do you and I always talk about, right? And with like a lot of acts in pro wrestling, oh, you two are black. That's enough to be a tag team. Like when R-Truth and Kofi were a fucking tag team. It's like, what's the story? What's the relationship? Why have you guys come together? Who cares? But it's like fine. They're both really great at what they do. They kind of complement each other in terms of like the speed and the size and everything else. Won the tag titles. Cool. Had some pretty genuinely entertaining matches. Great, but there was always that tension underneath. You could have, because we didn't want the tag team in the first place, but we played ball because we know who's up to bat. They're talented. They can make it work. They did make it work. You could have dovetailed that into an amazing singles feud, made two single stars simultaneously. And you're telling me this has been going on since December, and they haven't even had one singles match. You don't value them. Like honestly, at this point, it's honestly it's complicated for me because obviously you want them to be on TV and you want them to get paid and all that shit.
Yeah, dude, I literally like the Swerve stomping a cinder block through Keith Lee, the whole segment with Rick Ross thing, that was December.
Jesus Christ. Because like what I was gearing up to say was, and I'm glad you put that in context, because yeah, when you do something like that, this should have been blown off forever ago. It gets to a point where, in a weird way, now I am a weird wrestling fan. I will readily admit that. But to me, I don't want to speak for Javaris or anybody else I know is far more like emotionally invested in this than I am. It's almost worse when you put them on TV in this way, because it's like, yeah, I'm on TV and people can see me, but they're not seeing the best of me. They're seeing me literally circle the drain on fucking live TV. But at that point, I almost have to wonder if catering would almost be preferable, because you clearly don't have anything for me. You're fiddling your fucking thumbs this whole time. And you don't know what you have in them. You don't know what you have in a guy like Keith Lee who set the world on fire on the indies and in PWG. Like, I remember the first clip of Keith Lee I saw. Somebody did like a Tope Atomico or some type of dive, and he caught them.
Yeah.
And he powerbombed them on the apron. I've never seen anything like that. I visualized it a bunch of times. Like, is it possible? And then Keith Lee showed me it is possible when you've got enough mass and enough fucking power. Swerve, how many times, bro, especially when we were still covering NXT, would I say, and you would say, and like we would, kind of agree with each other and stuff, nobody moves like this fucking dude. Nobody wrestles like this. In a world where there was already a good bit about the X division, for years, and cruiserweights and all that stuff, this dude still found a way in the midst of all that history to be unique. And this is
dude,
what you
honestly,
insult.
we're at the point now, like, both of these dudes should have had multiple matches in their AEW careers by now that should have set the world on fucking fire and, like, had the whole internet ablaze talking about how insane they are and how much WWE was holding them back. And they haven't had a single opportunity to do that at all.
Their closest one would have been the night they won the tag titles because they faced the Elite and some other team in a three-way. Maybe it was FTR. I'm not sure.
But even then, you're talking about tag team, though. I'm talking about single shit. I'm talking about shit
and
where
they
get to shine as individual performers.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, dude, I went back and I watched NXT TakeOver Portland, that match between Dijak and Keith Lee. Holy fuck. AEW wishes they could recreate that kind of magic.
Dude, and say what you will about WWE, and God knows we have, and we will continue to. And I'm not even trying to deny that they had missteps and misfires with Keith Lee. Of course they did. But you know what? They at least had the gumption and the belief in Keith for a time to have him go head to head with Roman at Survivor Series on those two Survivor Series teams and get the fist pound at the end, to share a ring with Brock Lesnar, to beat Randy Orton in like 5 to 7 minutes on that one Payback pay-per-view, and to seem like he was on the cusp of challenging for the WWE title. WWE, in that brief time that they actually cared about Keith Lee and were invested, did more with Keith as like a main event potential player than AEW has his entire fucking run. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just calling it
Well,
like I
yeah,
see it.
and Keith
Yeah,
was only on the main roster for what, like a year and a half, maybe?
yeah, yeah. And again, I reiterate, beat fucking Orton in 5 minutes on a fucking he squashed fucking Randy Orton on a pay-per-view.
Would
And
you like
yet,
to
like,
know how long Keith Lee has been in AEW now?
has it been 2 years? It feels like 2 years at least.
It's been about a year and 3 months.
Damn. God. See, again, this is why you can't trust me with anything, people. But yeah, it feels so much longer than that because he just feels like he's wasting away
But he
there.
was only on the main roster for a year and 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah. God damn. It's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. You've got two people that could make such compelling television for you, and they're not the only two. They're just the two that we're talking about
Well, no,
specifically
yeah,
right
don't even get
now.
us fucking started on Andrade.
Oh no. Oh no, because that's a whole other minefield, amigo.
Right, because then we get
Yeah.
started talking about Sammy Guevara and all that bullshit.
How you prioritize? No, no, no. We just said. We just said. So I'm gonna walk away from it. But no, like that's the problem with this company. You prioritize the wrong people, and even the wrong people, you don't necessarily fully commit to them, so that's awkward. And it's like Tony took a wrestling company, but he didn't know what he wanted that wrestling company to be. He just wanted it because he wanted to say that he had one. He wanted to be Ted Turner, right? He's like, oh, I'm competing with
Well,
Vince.
dude,
I have a
yeah,
wrestling
he's
company too.
literally just a mark, and if you notice specifically, he is basically a mark for like mid to late 2000s Ring of Honor. That's what it fucking comes down to.
I almost just wish he would have bought ROH first and like focused on all of that,
Yeah,
and then maybe we wouldn't even have to worry about this shit.
yeah,
Maybe we would,
probably
yeah,
would
because
have been better. Yeah.
yeah, God damn, because no, like I have to thank AEW like backhandedly because they've made me so much more cynical like about the bit in the sense that like oh yeah it's good when other companies succeed because employment and working and no because now I'm seeing the dark underbelly of that and it's like yeah sometimes people get work and it makes them look worse like their profiles and their reputations get worse after doing stints in companies like this where they don't their identity gets completely uprooted or not even embraced or whatever. You have a boss that when he gets criticized, because I never thought Swall was a great wrestler. I'm not about to be like, oh yeah, she was great, didn't get a chance. No, but she's still a human being, and you're going on a public platform and being like, she sucks. Like, dude, his anti-blackness in this fucking company is a fucking problem, and I don't even know if it's been talked about enough to be quite honest with you. Because then I think about how he's treating Keith Lee and Swerve, two of the best in the fucking game, and he's like, oh, we'll put you with Dustin. Why would you put anyone with Dustin Rhodes, first of all? But then
Other
why
than
would
his
you
brother, meaning
other than
literally fire him so he can go back to WWE and be Goldust again.
yeah, fuck man. This company's a mess. I I think that about covers everything, right? Is there anything else to talk about? Because we're getting close to midnight here, and
Well,
I'm thinking we
honestly,
can
even if
yeah.
there was anything else to talk about, I'm fucking drained.
I'm drained too, man. Fuck this fucking company. I'm ready to get to the rest of my night with you. So let's get into our next segment here because we're not quite done here. Q&A essentially about this week in the world of wrestling. So keep it to this week. So Amari, if you're still here, and by the way, no apologies for what you asked earlier. I actually like that you asked that because we were talking about AEW at the time. But any other questions anybody has, this is the segment to do it. So anybody that has any questions, ask them now. Javaris, can I get a hug, man? Because I'm fucking depressed. Boris, for you, absolutely. Foster, thoughts on Ali challenging Gunther? I hope it gets time, Foster. I really fucking do. Because Ali is talented as shit. Even Paul Heyman has like praised him pretty highly, actually. I saw a clip where Paul Heyman said, you know why Ali's going to be a huge star in a few years? Because he's going in directions that nobody else is going, and he's always looking ahead. So that was really cool that Paul kind of praised him like that. But I think him and Gunther, if they like do the Brock Finn type match or the big guy is just really selling his ass off for like the smaller competitor, they can make magic together in Night of Champions. I have the most confidence in that. What about you, man? Do you think it's just going to be a squash, or do you think they'll actually do something together?
I'm scared that it's going to be pretty squashy.
Yeah, I can't say I blame you, but I hope you're wrong, and I know you hope you're wrong too.
Yeah.
So, collisions being on Saturdays. I think Caster's asking how will that impact TwitWoW's schedule. I don't think it should though, right? Because collision is at 8, and then it probably ends at 10 when we usually go live for
Yeah.
TwitWoW and review.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Glad we moved it back when we did, because we beat their asses to the punch.
I wish I could say that we'd get better ratings in collision, but I'm not that delusional. But maybe one day we will, and then I can laugh at Tony
I
Khan.
don't ever want to get viewed by that many people. It would be really toxic.
Yeah. Oh God, you're right. I actually like our intimate little community here.
Yeah.
Javaris, do you think that New Japan could treat Keith Lee better, or is Keith? That's an interesting question, Javaris. Like, I feel like New Japan's gotten a bit. Well, I shouldn't even say better because I mean Kevin Knight's doing cool stuff, and I'm happy for the dude. But I don't know, because Keith Lee has presence, but I just worry about like the anti-blackness in like Japan, and Japan's kind of racist issues and stuff. So I don't know. I think maybe he could do better just because, again, he does have that it factor to me, and I think New Japan would find that interesting, but I don't think it would dovetail to anything meaningful long term. What do you think, bro?
I'm sorry, I was yawning. What was the question?
That's perfect, honestly, given everything we've been talking about. Do you think that New Japan could treat Keith Lee better, or is Keith just fucked? Javaris asked.
Well, shit, man. Could is the strong word here. Could they? Yeah, absolutely. But just about anyone could. Shit, he could go back to WWE and get used better. But you just never know. You never know. We know he's talented. We know he's damn good at what he does. I would love. I mean, fuck. If Tony's not going to use him, let him go to the fucking New Japan. I mean, be in the G1 this year. See how he does.
God, that'd be amazing. Amari with another question. Glad you were still there, Amari. That makes me feel good that we didn't scare you off. What are y'all's thoughts on AEW Collision's logo looking similar to WCW Monday Night Nitro logo? Amari, that is perfect that you asked that right when only a few minutes ago I said that Tony Khan doesn't even really know what to do with a wrestling company. He just wanted to say that he's Ted Turner and like he owned one and he's competing with Vince. That's hilarious that you asked that. I haven't really seen the logo, so I don't really have any in-depth thoughts about it. Ashton, have you seen the logo? Can you corroborate this?
Let me see if I can whip it out for you.
Oh my God, the eargasms you're giving me today.
Damn, I didn't even try that time. Jesus Christ.
I know, it's getting effortless for you. All right, I'm gonna.
Oh,
God. Yes. It's okay. You'll be okay.
I know. Oh yeah, here we go. Here it is. I'm gonna post a link in chat. Doo-da, doo-da. There we go.
Nice. I'll look at that in just a second. But yeah, I guess before we circle back to that, Kirby asked, what is your guys' odds of Momo Kogo beating Willow? I would say pretty low right now, but after Kogo's whole promo thing that I know you showed me.
That'll be the one match that she does win, and then she just eats the L to Mercedes in the main event.
Dude, that would be so cool for her. I want Kogo to get that rub, man. So we'll have to see what happens.
Oh yeah,
but yeah,
you know what? I see it. The colors are the exact same. I see why people would say that, because it's like the red, the company's name's logo in red, and then the name of the show in yellow, and then the TNT logo right under it. It makes sense.
God, it is. Oh God, Tony Turner. Oh God.
Dude, that's perfect because it reminds me of Timmy Turner.
He was a bucktooth little shit too.
Yes, exactly. It's funny because I'm pretty sure there were episodes that Timmy wore glasses into, and I bet Tony would be upset hearing me say that.
Oh, absolutely. I don't wear glasses. I wear contacts like an adult. But yeah, God, I've been in such a weird mood. I apologize.
You're
everyone.
wonderful. Don't you dare apologize for being this fucking entertaining, sir.
I'm okay, thank you. Love everyone. So Dominique said, I didn't want this question to be a -1, LOL, but thoughts on Soraya wanting her shitty boyfriend's band to perform and all that. Oh my God, Ronnie Radke. Fuck me.
It's AEW, bro. Let it happen.
Yeah, no, you're right. Why am I even resisting? It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Ah! Okay. That was nice. That was nice. I'm glad we got to do that. Let's see.
I'm getting a headache.
Super Blue. If Tiffany loses to Roxy next week in the next women's tournament, will you watch NXT Battleground? Probably not.
Super
No.
Blue, why do you think that us watching NXT hinges on one decision?
Yeah, Super Blue. No, it's not that simple, amigo. I'm sorry, because it seems pretty obvious that they're gearing up for Roxy versus Cora, but maybe they're not. But either way, I don't care.
They
Um,
100% are, and it still doesn't matter.
oh God, Umbra, I love you, and I'm not holding this against you, but you've given me nightmare fuel. They said they'll pull a clash at the castle with Soraya's boyfriend. Soraya wins the title, and then her and Ronnie are just singing to the crowd together. Oh, I want to die. I want to die. Fuck. Um. Kirby said, "Okay, Starlight Kid recently tweeted she never had a singles match with Micah. Can we get Kiddo versus main event Micah in the 5-star final?" So it's
In
main
the
event Micah now.
finals? Kirby, put the fucking blunt down, man. Jesus Christ.
Kirby, we need to help you, and you need to tell us who your supplier is right now.
Jesus.
Because you are huffing hard.
Put him in the same block, okay? Fine.
Any other questions? I don't
So
think
that
either one of
Micah
us
can
has
win
much
with a
left.
fucking Micah driver in like 9 minutes.
Oh, Kid deserves better. Makes me sad. Uh,
Yeah, Umbra, I
Umbra.
think that was a lot of our Cinderella finals, but that's the Cinderella, not the 5-star. They're very different.
Yeah, the 5-star
It's
is.
for
I was
main
gonna say.
eventers, not upper mid-carders.
I'm so glad you took the reins there and were mature about it because I was about to say because I'm so far gone. The 5-star is for adults. It's
That's
like,
the, you know what? Close enough. Same thing. I agree still.
but it isn't. I need to be stopped. Let's see. Any other questions? Because I don't know if Ash and I have much more to give. I really need help.
Uh, Javaris, to be clear, I wasn't saying block finals. Okay, same block. Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. We're on the same page. I just misread. Amari said, "Am I the only person who's interested in more people analyzing pro wrestling from a cultural and psychological perspective? I personally think that it would lead to some interesting results. No, you're not the only person, and we are here to at least attempt provide a little bit of a scratch to that itch. And we would love it if more people would do it too. But you know, the wrestling business is just it just draws the worst people. It really does."
I think for the male side, it's like the perfect conduit to fulfill the masculine fantasy of like aggression and being dominant, right? And for the way I can't even be, I don't have the bandwidth to be honest. I've got like very little left. Super Blue, how do you feel about the BOSJ results so far? I haven't paid attention to them, so they've been great because they're not.
Super
They're
Blue assumes that we care way more about wrestling than we do.
You know when I'll pay attention to BOSJ results? When Taguchi pays attention to a washcloth enough to wash his ass. So on me, but it did. I'm gone. I'm gone. Okay, Kirby. Oh no, Kirby's just commenting further about Kid versus Micah, of course. I love that everybody lives in their own little world, and you and I are trying to make this world work, and it's just everyone's choosing.
Alex
wrong.
Foster said so far Taguchi is winless this year in BOSJ.
Foster, I need you to listen to me very carefully right now. I love you, and I love you for giving that to me. Thank you, because I wouldn't have known otherwise.
I guess the pants are staying on because he still hasn't wiped.
Yeah. God, I don't know why I gave it that tone. I'm sorry, everyone. Yeah. Okay, that was a bit better. But all right.
And Kushida only has one win, and I do know from Curtis updating us occasionally in the live wrestling discussion that Kushida is eliminated from being able to win.
Yeah.
I'm still hoping Wato wins. I'm rooting for Wato. If we get Wato, who even is the junior champion right now? Is it Hiromu still?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
If we get Wato Hiromu at Dominion, I want to react to that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
we
we're
absolutely
already going to
can.
be reacting to Sonata Tsuji and whatever women's championship match they put on that show, assuming they put a women's championship match on that show. So, yeah, if they put if they put Watto challenging Hiromu for the title, I would want to react to that too.
Oh, Super Blue clarifying. I thought you might have read Sheevan's post in the live wrestling. That's fair, Super Blue. But honestly, like I glance at it and then I go like to
Yeah,
other
Super
stuff.
Blue, I'll see its existence, I'll look for people I like, or sometimes even ignore it entirely and then move on.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Because I don't think I skipped over anybody. So we're keeping things nice and organized. Saudi in the 5-star.
Oh my
I
god,
could.
Kirby, you're you know, your hope is really inspiring, but sometimes you just need to temper your expectations a little bit, man.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard her have any interest in going to start. Would it be cool? Sure. But honestly, we're already in
She
pretty good.
explicitly said she no longer wants to go to Stardom as soon as Mayu won the belt from Mercedes.
Oh, see, now I didn't know that. Now that I know that, I can say, yeah, that does seem a bit unrealistic. Um,
Like I'm of the mindset that like if we can get Kylie and or Ano in the 5-star, I feel like that's a win.
I feel like we're getting Ano at the very least. I'm confident we're getting Ano, but I could be wrong.
I would
Um,
love it if we could get some special guests like maybe Maya Yukihi and or Takuma Iroha and or Maria, but those are more names that I feel like are more likely than Sorey at this point. But also B, I'm not getting my hopes up for still.
By the way, Maria, I know you're never gonna hear this, but your giggle gives me life. It's the best thing going on in wrestling that nobody talks about nearly enough. Also, proud of you for abducting Stefan, because I know Kirby's in the chat and I want him to hear this. Unagi never deserved it. She doesn't deserve happiness. You did the right thing. And
Whoa,
if
whoa,
anybody tells you
whoa,
differently, they're
whoa,
wrong.
whoa. Unagi deserves happiness. The problem is she doesn't deserve happiness at the expense of the happiness of other things, including that fucking fox that I feel so bad for.
Yeah, all that. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Maria, you're wonderful. You're just so proud of you.
She's
Um,
basically got that thing held hostage in her house, or in her apartment, I should say.
Dominique asking, will you guys remain awesome and provide excellent 12 goodness? Have to give you guys positivity here. I mean, this magnificent motherfucker kept me afloat for almost 2 hours, so I would say, yeah, that's probably going to happen.
Oh no, we've been in here that long.
It's been 116 minutes, bro. Our lives are over.
Why are you saying the number of minutes?
Well, because that's what it says on my stream. It started streaming 116 minutes ago. Like, I have the chat open, and like that's kind of
That's
yeah.
interesting. Okay.
Kirby Unagi freaking rules. Oh, Kirby. Um. Oh, wait. You asked about the draft? I didn't see you
I
ask
didn't
about the
see a
draft,
draft.
Superman.
I didn't see a draft question.
Can you repost
Here it
that?
is. Why
Oh,
is WWE not enforcing the draft? Paul Heyman was on Raw and Damage Control is going to Raw to fight for the tag titles on Raw.
well, Kirby, or well, excuse me, well, Super Blue. I'm getting people mixed up now.
They
Well,
do
Super
have
Blue.
similar energy, to be fair.
Thank you. Well, Super Blue. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much my answer. I think we hoped
But the
they would
question was a
enforce it.
why.
I know it was. I know it was.
What the hell?
I think we knew Super Blue that WWE would fumble the ball like this, and
Well, there were even reports coming out in between the draft happening and the draft being quote unquote enforced that it wasn't going to be a quote unquote hard brand split and that it was going to be a bit of a softer brand split. So, if you didn't lose all hope then, I guess you're losing it slowly now, and I'm sorry that it's happening so slowly. But yeah, the sooner you lose your hope, the better.
wow, that delivery was fucking ace.
Was it? I wasn't even trying.
I loved how matter of fact you were about it. Now's a pretty good time to lose hope. So,
I mean, in this matter, about something that doesn't matter really, like, yeah, give up hope.
yeah, yeah, I think what he honestly, I shouldn't be trusted to say anything else. I am really not coherent because wow, they really because Triple H even said like this is gonna be the thing that changes everything, and I'm like I'm not gonna question it. The nose knows, and now we're here.
You popped yourself there pretty good, I can tell.
I'm ashamed of myself, but I did. Everyone saw it. But yeah, I wish they would have enforced it, but yeah, they're not. And it's like, damn. So you took something that could have been interesting. You're not making it interesting because you're still having people like cross brands, which also, by
They're
the way,
still
with them doing
crossing
this,
streams, man.
I know, which by them doing this, it keeps on the table again Cody being able to go back and antagonize Roman,
Oh, of
which like I
course.
was hoping the hard brand split, if it was a committed one, maybe Ashton, you still could have very much been right. Rumble win, and then it's like, oh, I'll pick the champion and we'll do it. But that didn't happen. So yeah, I just keep remaining apathetic as always. What is wrestling doing to us? I really this is making me look at my life right now. Any other I
Javaris
mean that wasn't
said, would it be mean if I said Unagi, like Tamantha, doesn't really deserve nice things?
Yes, we're supposed to be better people, Javaris. I know you can reform. Because I'm trying to reform and I'm not doing it alone.
He says
Kirby
through
asked,
uncontrollable giggles.
listen, I am super serial right now. Um,
Dominique
what?
in chat and would Utami look more amazing in purple than red?
I'm gonna
No.
answer your question with a question, Dom. Did you ever go to your room like I told you to when you tweeted that shit at me this morning? Um, but Kirby asked a little bit above this. I don't want to ignore Kirby because you got to back winners, baby. He said, "Thoughts on the rumors of WWE turning Bianca heel in the summer? I don't believe them.
I don't
I
believe
don't
him
believe
either, dude. Like, she's literally Cena. Remember how many times there were rumors that they were going to turn him heel?
them. Yeah, they were all false.
They sure were.
It's never happening.
Because, and especially too, because like they just turned Asuka heel for Bianca. Imagine turning someone heel for your top babyface, and then within the first 3 months of that happening, you turn that top babyface heel. That makes no sense. Even by WWE standards, it's not going to happen. The soonest Bianca turns heel is like October at the absolute soonest, and I really just don't think it's happening even that soon, honestly.
You know what? You're making so much sense. I'm proud of you, and I love that for you. If I had a wrestling company, I would do it just so that I could say to the world that convention can eat my ass.
Nice.
Yeah, that whole ass.
I just imagine the segment. Top babyface comes out, former babyface comes out, does the heel thing to turn heel on the top babyface. The next week, the top babyface comes out, does a heel thing. They go to the back. You come out, bend over, pants down, spanking your ass. Eat it, people, eat it.
I want to so bad. I feel repressed because I haven't been able to do it. Oh God, I'm crying again. Oh God, I'm laughing too hard again. Okay.
Just reminds me of
Kirby.
acid guy, acid proof guy.
One of the best bits in Rick and Morty. I'm super curious about the anime that's coming to Max. Getting rid of HBO was a
When
great
is
idea.
Max gonna become a thing? I'm real sick of paying for HBO Max and just the general existence of Discovery Plus also being a thing. When are those combining into just plain Max?
Yeah, consolidate.
My mom's gonna love that you said that. That's one of her favorite words ever.
Yes, mom pops are the best pops. Okay, okay. We need to keep it together.
Oh, you are gone. What is happening right now?
Kirby said, wait, this wasn't even a question. It was a comment. I'm not reading this. Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Kirby, you need to
That's not
stop.
happening.
Why does everyone keep misreading Stardom stories? It's actually unbelievable to me. What the fuck is happening right now?
Step 1, turn off the gas. Step 2, stop huffing the gas.
Like, no one is leaving QQ unless it's Saya Kamitani. That's the actual answer here.
Okay. After taking a breath, I feel like I'm able to be a part of this. I don't think we have any more questions, and it's been a bit. So let's move on to high spots and low shots.
If only your son was here to enjoy it.
I was just about to say it's Abel's favorite segment. It doesn't feel right without him. Is he on Discord?
No.
What? God.
He hasn't been online for like 4 hours.
All right. So
Actually, it's
high
been longer
spots.
than that.
High spots and low shots. Oh my god, what a this is gonna be a 12-hour review for the fucking archives, baby. This is gonna live in my head rent free for a while.
Yeah, the last message that I'm aware of that Abel sent on Facebook was at 4:42 p.m.
Oh wow. We love you, Abel, so much. Um, okay, so high spots, low
Oh
shots.
God, this
Low
means I
shot.
have to think. Oh
I'm so sorry to do that to you. I could do the thinking for both of us if you want, but I know
I can
you
try.
come up with
I
better
can
stuff.
try.
I'm proud of you. So yeah, low shot. I mean, not to be a dick, but I'll go with a real life low shot and fucking Liv and Raquel, especially Liv, because she's injured and now she has to relinquish her women's tag
Yeah,
title.
that's
So
fair because that works with kayfabe too because they are losing their titles, or Liv at the very least is.
yeah. So who's your low shot?
My low shot's gonna be Chris Jericho because got bitched out.
Yeah, he did. My God. You know what? My high spot, because I'm gonna give a high spot to one of the things that actually made me happy this week, which honestly I could maybe even recourse to like Stardom stuff because that's just stuff we watched this week. Um, so I guess honorary high spot would be Utami because she won in her homecoming match, and when she gave a big hug to the crowd that was like a self hug, I popped, my heart melted, I believed in
Yeah, that
joy
was really
again.
sweet.
It was very good for me mentally. But I think my actual high spot, besides it being Alex Foster for being just so beautiful, was going to be Pretty Deadly. Because
Nice.
they're a tag team. They beat the Brawling Brutes, and will they be tag team champions? Yes, boy. Oh yeah, God, that was great. All right, who's your high spot?
Solo Sokoa.
Nah, I love that. I love that.
The tribal chief apologized to him.
Yeah, that's. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good shit.
Is there
All
a
right.
higher high spot than that? Honestly,
I don't think
I
so.
don't
I
think
don't.
so
I think.
either, man. I think Solo might have just peaked.
Yeah. I think you just won it TWitWoW in review, friend. I don't think anybody's knocking you
Nice.
off the board. So with that said, this has I have been very weird today, and I have been very exposed, and I don't regret anything because you're all beautiful. So if you don't regret anything, please leave a like as you file out. Subscribe, click the bell icon so you don't miss any of that TWitWoW goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch because we are the best wrestling podcast in all the IWC. And I mean, we're off tomorrow. Sunday is our day of rest because even workhorses have to go back into the stable and nap every once in a while. And then as far as this week goes, I mean, we'll let you know when the world lets us know. We're still waiting for Stardom shows to be uploaded. Um, do we have anything like we don't have any like 5v5s or anything like that like this week because we
No, our
just got
next
done doing this.
5v5 will be after Dominion.
Okay, so Dominion is June 4th, so I have to keep that in mind. So yeah, guys, I think it'll just be a touch and go kind of thing. I'll be sure to put out
June's gonna be a
tweets.
busy month for us.
June is yeah, because we got Dominion, and I'm sure we've got Money in the Bank. I know.
Money in the Bank is in July, isn't it?
Oh, Money in the Bank is in July. You're right. But we still got 5v5s, like you said, because that'll
And
be
we're also
after
gonna have a
Dominion,
Q&A at the end of June. That's what
and
I
we're
was
gonna have
talking about.
yeah, there you go.
And we've also
Um,
got New Blood 9.
that's right. Which we know we're skipping one match because it's Nane versus Sakurai. Stardom. Don't you fucking do this to me right now, okay?
What?
Don't turn on me, Stardom. I just hope that this Sakurai thing is a phase that you're going through, and then you get it out of your system, and then it's over. You're the last good thing left, okay? Don't fuck this up. But yeah, we're skipping that match for New Blood, so that's happening. And yeah, so June should be fun, but we'll let you guys know next week what's coming down through tweets and people in the Discord. You'll get access more than anybody because we just ping everybody in a Discord channel. And I know Ashton is especially good about that when there's a commentary out. So yeah, just keep your ears out and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Until then, be good to yourselves and each other. And until we meet again, tune in. Peace out.